Hello, guys. Hello. Happy Sunday. It's such a beautiful day here in South Florida, and I am excited to be with you today to talk a little bit more about Sarah Boone. Today, we're going to watch some of her testimony and her body language, overall behavior, and everything we know about Sarah Boone so far. I also want to just make a disclaimer real quick because some people get, they get upset in the comments. This is not to diagnose anybody. This channel is just for entertainment purposes and for us to learn together. So I do, when I reference anything on the DSM or any personality disorders and stuff like that, we're not diagnosing anyone. We're just pointing out information so that we can all observe and just have more information overall in our lives. So today we're going to start with a little video that I made here. And this little I don't know, 2 minute compilation maybe. It's just to remember Sarah's bizarre facial expressions during that last motion hearing where she rejected her deal, because she's going to show up as a uh, soft spoken, as a very, very calm person when she's testifying. But I want to show this to remind ourselves a little bit about Sarah and how she started on this last motion hearing. She's something else, I'll tell you. In what context is this all right? Like, in what situation are these faces okay for somebody who is in trial for murder? Hello, everybody. Good to see you all.
Judge, I'm James Owens, and I'm representing Sarah Boone. Sir, pleasure.
She's so proud to have an attorney at this hearing.
An opportunity to respond to both this motion and also the motion to the statement of particulars formally and in writing, given the lack of time we've had to prepare to make a formal response.
Lack of time, and look at her.
Time, Counselor, would you like, in order to file
She's looking
a
at her
response
attorney like
to
lack of
the,
time.
Motion for statement of particulars. State shall file a response to both the motion for statement of particulars and the motion for additional discovery no later than the close of business 5 p.m. on Tuesday, September the 10th.
So really strong facial expressions during this hearing. Let's see how she does during the trial.
With regard to the defendant's pro se motion for payment of costs and appointing neuropsychologists to assist the defendant in preparation of the defense, court's going to deny that as moot based on Mr. Owens' representation. With regard to the motion to appoint crime scene reconstructionist and death investigator,
she doesn't want this lip pursing, lip compression, sign of disapproval.
All right. I will have Ms. Barrios, I'll ask the clerk to see if we can push these through the portal today so that Ms. Barrios can reach out to JICS and see if we can get a time frame on when they may be able to provide a position statement or a response to those motions, and then we'll coordinate a hearing respectfully.
Do you understand that if we were to proceed to trial in this matter, and if you were found guilty, the lowest permissible sentence that the court
You see, when he says guilty, real quick, her lip goes to the side. It's like very fast, but on the top video there, you can see it repeated over and over.
Would be 22.5 years in the Department of Corrections.
Very
Do you understand that?
flinch.
Do you understand the state's offer to resolve this case? Okay.
Do you understand it, Sarah, really? And then her attorney is going to be like, Sarah,
The offer is
look at her. She just gives him a look. Do you want to be next in the suitcase? And then he's just going to be like, all right, Sarah, whatever you say.
15 years to a lesser included charge of manslaughter, with the understanding that she would serve 85% of that sentence.
How is that a good decision, Sarah? We still don't understand.
Ma'am, understanding the state's offer, do you wish to accept or reject the state's offer to resolve this case?
Reject.
Bad decision, Sarah. So, okay, let me see who is here. Hello, everybody. Good to see you guys. Hi, Ask Bob. I love seeing you here every time. Thank you so much for your wonderful comments. You look so beautiful. Be still my heart. I came from church, so I'm all like dressed up still. But later I'm just gonna go probably take a walk on the beach with Whisper. I want to show you guys how the beach looks today here where I live. This is literally what we're dealing with here in Florida today. Look at that. It's a beautiful day. And later I'm gonna go with Whisper to just take a walk, have some ice cream or something like that after talking about Sarah Boone. Arrgh. Okay, so hi, Tim Quitsau. It's great to see you here again. Hi from Denmark, everybody. We got Mallory81. Hello, everyone. And Tim is saying self-entitled and living in another dimension, in my opinion. Definitely. This video, the one with this motion that we just played, it's like, what world do you live in? She's laughing. She's like, look at that guy. Look at that guy. Like, this is ridiculous. Why are you doing this to me? Why am I here? Why am I being arrested? I don't understand any of this. Hi, Jenny Allison. It's good to have you here. She was so confident, so confident. She didn't even flinch in that plea deal offer. She was just like, no, just tell them no, of course. She's seriously disturbed. Yes, it's so sad. He probably told her he travels light. I don't have a suitcase, Sarah. Don't start with any ideas. Jenny says, "Oh, so jealous. I want to walk on a beach." Where do you live, Jenny? There's no beach over there. Going to be 36 degrees in Boston tonight. Listen, I am jealous of you, Ask Bob, because I love the cold. I love cold weather, to just feel cozy and put all the clothes on. You know, I love that, to get my boots out of the closet. But we don't get a lot of cold days here in Florida. I'm not complaining, but it's just, it is what it is. So what I have in mind today is that we go over her testimony. I'm gonna try to put it on 1.5, and if you guys tell me it's too fast, we can reduce it to 1.25. We're gonna go about an hour, 2 hours the most, and then we'll finish another day, because the difference of this channel is that I want you guys to comment and to give me your observations as well. So let me just cue here when she's going to start testifying. So here she's still with her attorneys. Let me press play and let's go.
Jury. All right, thank you. Y'all can be seated.
Just
Mr.
wait.
Jury, after
She
seated and
starts
comfortable, you
talking,
could
and
raise
if
your hands
she's
to
too
confirm
fast, we'll go to 1.25.
that you complied with the court's instructions during the break. Record reflect all hands have been raised. With that, state has rested. The defense is going to put on a case. Defense, Mr. Owens, you can call your first witness.
The defense would call Sarah Boone.
Oh, she's so proud of this moment. She's been waiting for this for 4 years.
Please sworn, please swear or affirm the testimony you give shall hold true to the truth, so help you God. I do.
All right, ma'am, you can take a seat. And if you could, state and spell your name for the record for us.
Sarah Boone, 10-10-77.
And could you spell your name?
Great dates.
RAHBOONE.
All right, thank you very much. Sir, you may inquire.
Ms. Boone, would you please tell the jury where you were born and raised?
Atlanta, Georgia.
You were born in Atlanta?
I was born in Atlanta.
And how long did you stay in Atlanta before you moved here to Florida?
I was 3 years old, 3 or 4.
Okay. And from that time, y'all moved, you and your family, your mother and father, moved to Orlando?
And my grandparents.
Okay. Y'all all moved down from Atlanta down to Orlando?
Yes, my 2 brothers.
Okay. And were you raised here essentially from that time on?
Yes.
And you resided here in Orange County, Florida that entire time?
Yes.
Okay. And did you go to high school here locally?
I did.
Where did you go to high school?
Edgewater.
Okay. And tell the jury, how old were you when you graduated?
I was 18 years old.
Now, I know you lost your mother and father. I know you lost your mother and father
Okay,
in your teens.
right there, right? He wants to get into the victim, right? Mr. Owens just want to show everybody how much of a victim she is. She lost her mother, and then as soon as there's an objection, she's like, just she does the lip pursing to the side, which is a very strong sign of disapproval. Sarah doesn't like to be, she likes to be in control. She wants to have this narrative, and she's enjoying the fact that she has a psychologist and an attorney to speak on her behalf. That's all she wanted. She literally rejected a deal that was going to be better for her because of this opportunity to speak. So here we have Tim saying, I don't know if Sarah Boone's testimony is worse than Amber Heard. Yes, it's very I mean, Amber Heard was very difficult because she's a terrible actress. I think Sarah Boone, in her own way, she believes what she's saying and she believes her position. She believes that she's going to be innocent here. So I don't know. I don't know which one is worse. It's a great comment. Let's go. Tim is like, if you think Bianca Mama is pretty, hit the like button. If not, get glasses. I thought you were gonna say hit the dislike. Thank you guys. Yeah, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
I lost
To
my
help
grandfather
us.
when I was a sophomore in high school, and I lost my father when I was a senior. And
I'm
then,
sorry, Sarah.
My mother passed away a few years after that, and then my grandmother passed away after my mother died.
Were you in your 20s when all that was going on?
Yes,
And then at some point in your 20s, you met Brian Boone.
I did, yes.
All right. And how long did y'all date before you married?
A good handful of years.
Let's
I
observe
helped my family
this
with
when
paying
she
mortgage and
talks
bills for the
about her
house since my father
ex-husband.
had passed away and my grandfather. So
So you worked outside the home?
I did.
Can you tell the jury when you said you and Brian Boone dated for a while? Do you remember when y'all married?
I do.
Could you tell the jury when y'all were married?
The year?
Yeah.
Yeah, the year. So right here, when he says something about Brian Boone, and she goes like, the lip pursing. The lip pursing, either like this to the front, is typical from women doing it, and it signifies a sign of disagreement. Like when you're talking to a woman, or you're, it's typically a woman. So I'm not saying only women do this, but like, when the woman's like this, yeah, sure. It typically means that in her mind she disagrees with you and she's going to kill you later. Just kidding, guys. That's a joke. But when she's talking about her ex-husband, she does a lot of that. But Sarah does a lot of this. So we don't know if this is just her baseline, if this is just her body the way it is. But I have seen other videos where she's not doing that. So I am pointing it out here.
Do you remember the date?
It happened to be, yes, that after my mother passed away, that he had waited to ask me to marry him because he knew it would be
Sustained.
Exactly, non-responsive. And yes, Sarah is going to look at the attorney objecting and almost like roll her eyes. But this is the third time that she says my mother passed away. And this is Mr. Owens opening up with how many people passed away in her life. So to bring the victim role into place. And I believe that is not the best approach, because think about the bigger picture, Sarah, right? Who is your audience? You're talking to a jury. You're talking to people that have seen the suitcase video. They feel compassion for the victim, for the family. And here you are, and your first words are about you and how you were a victim and how everybody died when you were little, and how, oh, did you work from outside? Yeah, I worked. And like when Mr. Owens says anything to her to solidify the victim mentality, she smiles up, kind of like, yeah, you see, I am a victim. Do you guys see it? And it's just such a disconnect between what people are perceiving in the situation and what she thinks is happening. So let's keep going here.
Just answer the question if you can, Ms. Boone. Are you a little bit nervous?
a little bit.
Okay. Well, just tell the jury if you remember the date that you and Brian Boone married.
August 21st, 2004.
Okay. And had y'all lived with each other for a short time before that?
Short time.
Yes. Okay. After you married, how long was it before y'all had any children?
Gosh, 6 years?
Okay. And y'all have one son.
Yes.
What's his name?
Lucas.
And how old is Lucas now?
Lucas will be 14 years old on the 28th.
28th of this month? Okay. So you and Brian were married, and y'all lived in Orange County. How long were y'all married?
For 13 years.
All right. And y'all divorced?
Yes.
She does
And as
this
part of the
little
divorce, were y'all to share custody of your
fake
son?
smile.
Okay, so y'all would split days. Would that be fair to say?
I think it's when she wants to show, see, that's a good thing about me. Like, oh, you guys are married for this much. She's like, yes. And she looks at the jury like, see, I'm a good person.
Yes.
It's sometime after you and Brian split up, did you meet George Torres?
Yes.
All right, could you tell the jury how you met George Torres?
I met George when I decided to buck up, I guess, and was tired of trying to patch things up with my ex-husband. And I decided to go one day for a walk across the street and go have a beer by myself and sit and people watch just to get out of my house and a change of scenery.
All right, now is this your apartment?
No, this is the marital home.
Okay. Where is that marital home?
Winter Park?
You're no longer living in that marital home?
No.
Who lives in the marital home?
No, but it has been sold.
Okay. So you met George Torres before you got the apartment?
Yes.
Okay. And you met him at a bar across the street from the marital home?
Yes, we had a mutual friend there.
Were you introduced?
Yes.
All right. How did you and George get along when y'all first met?
Very well. It was strange how quickly we hit things off and had so much in common. And I never thought that he would be interested in someone like me. And I just couldn't believe that he was actually interested in me and said a lot of nice things. And 1 hour ended up being 4 hours from when we had first met. And then we would always have something to talk about.
Why couldn't you believe that he would be interested in you?
He was very handsome. He was very funny. He was smart. And I would show up in workout clothes and disheveled hair. And I guess I kind of felt broken from being in the process of a divorce.
I'm going to stop here real quick, guys. So a lot of things just happened with Sarah, right? At first, she was starting with her narrative. She was going on. And when her attorney kind of interrupted her to get her where he wanted to, she kind of started to doubt herself a little bit. And then when she talks about George, I'm going to actually put this little video here, or a slide or whatever you call it. When she starts talking about George, it's like she ran out of things to, like, out of adjectives. She says, oh, he was very handsome, lip compression, right? So lip compression, disagreement of some type. And then she does the lip pursing and wait, this is the wrong one right here. She does like the tongue jutting with to the side like that. And then she does, he was very handsome and funny, kind of looking for something else to say good about him. And then she goes like that. So let me see where the video is. And I'm going to play and then I'll come back.
That he knew about. But then one of the things that we could relate also was the fact that he was here in Florida because he had just been divorced from his second wife. So that was another topic that he and I could compare notes on.
So eventually the divorce was settled. Did you get your own place?
Yes.
Is it fair to say that after at first you lived in your parents' home, correct?
Yes, until I was married.
And then you moved directly in with Brian?
Yes.
And then y'all lived in the marital home, correct?
Yes.
And then you got this apartment?
Yes.
So that was the first time in your life that you actually had your own place?
Yes.
And what was the address?
4748 France Court, apartment number 3.
And
All right.
It's in Winter Park.
How far is that from here?
20 minutes.
Okay.
Nobody's
So
going to want to live there anymore.
And, initially, were you by yourself?
No.
All right, tell the jury.
In the almost year, about 10 months of separation from Brian, my ex-husband, that is the time when I met George. And my ex-husband was trying to buy me out or force me out of our marital home.
Okay, hold on 1 second.
He was very
Here's the
handsome. He was very funny. He was smart.
So very handsome, very funny, lip compression, right? Lip compression, which is negative, uncomfortable thoughts, concern, disapproval. It could simply be because she's talking about George and she knows that she's in a situation where people are going to judge her for this, literally. So it could be that, but she definitely does that when she's talking about him.
He was very handsome. He was very funny.
That's a lip compression, okay? Negative events, uncomfortable thoughts, concerns, disapproval.
He was smart.
That, the little sound, sharp sound of the tongue against the palate of the mouth, often accompanied by disapproving or annoyed expression. So that makes sense because she had just done the lip compression and then she does the tongue.
And I would show up in workout clothes and disheveled hair, and I guess I kind of felt broken from being in the process of the divorce that he knew about.
And then she, of course, has to bring the victim mentality back to the story because she's in the process of divorce. So, she's again in a situation that is negative for her. So let's see here. Jenny Allison is saying the lip smacking or compression can mean that there is something she doesn't want to say or feels like she said something wrong. Exactly. Yes, something wrong. Something like something's going. The disapproval is a very common explanation for the lip compression, but it could mean that something is wrong or like you're saying something but she's not with you, it's not cohesive. Okay, so let's go back to this here.
And
So did you and George agree to rent the apartment?
yes, I needed extra income. We could not afford it, just on my own.
You were receiving some income from the marriage settlement, were you not?
Yes,
So you did have a consistent monthly income coming in from the marriage settlement,
for the most part, yes.
but you needed more to live.
Yes, to pay the bills and for rent.
So did you and George have some agreement?
We did.
All right, what was the agreement?
The agreement was that if I decided,
I
or we
decided-
had to live with one another, because it would be under my name.
If I decided that we were to live with one another, so just this is the language that we have to pay attention with Sarah, because it's something that no matter how much you practice, no matter how many years you practice this testimony, no matter how much you think you're doing great, there's some things that you cannot escape, and that is her constant, self-talk. I do it, I did it for him. It's about me, it's about me. So again, when she decides it,
That he would help with the monthly bills and on a regular basis, where it wouldn't be something that I would have to argue with him about. It would just be an automatic. Make sure that everything's paid first, and then from there, hopefully have some fun with it.
Okay. So I understand from that point on, would it be fair to say that y'all saw each other on and off for about the next 3.5 years?
No, I consider us a couple. At some point, he asked me to marry him.
Okay. But y'all did have times where he left and went to live with his parents.
Yes.
so
Is that
again,
fair?
the side, live person, but at some point he asked me to marry him. So again, look at me, how good I am. Somebody's asking me to marry
And there
him.
were times where there was an understanding that y'all were going to break up.
Multiple times.
Okay. All right. So again, on again, off again.
Yes, this was actually before we had our apartment. That was, I guess, our dating phase.
Okay. So y'all were together for 3.5 years. Is that fair?
Yes.
And y'all had actually agreed to marry?
He had asked me, yes, a couple of times to marry him, and one time I agreed to, yes.
Okay. Now, I want to get directly to the date of this event so that the jury can hear your testimony. All right. So tell us, I believe the date is February the 23rd of 2020. Explain to the jury that whole day, from the time y'all got up, the whole thing.
So here she does everything, right? She does the hard swallow, and she does the blink increases, high stress. She does the lips. She's very uncomfortable, and that's just what it is. Anybody would be uncomfortable in a situation where you are testifying in trial, especially if your life is in the line. So it's normal for her to be uncomfortable, right? And it's really hard for us to put any type of meaning into this specifically because it's a situation where anyone would be uncomfortable. So it doesn't mean she's lying, doesn't mean she's, doing whatever. Cat Mandy says, so excited for this one. Good to see you here. Dave E says, Sarah has no idea how much this is backfiring on her. The constant congratulations, so off-putting. And that's where the lack of self-awareness constantly comes back into full circle with her. And honestly, I don't believe that Mr. Owens has a lot of, I think he did a great job for what he had in his, with the information that he was given, but he also didn't have a great self-awareness, because especially when you start talking about George, when you start talking about the incident, that's why we're all here. What is the first thing that us as normal humans want to know? That Sarah is devastated, remorseful, upset. She can't believe this happened to someone that she was so close with. Before I tell you guys anything about that night, let me tell you how it's awful. This is the most impossible situation that I could be in. And I beg you to give me a few minutes. I know nothing is going to bring George back, but you know what I mean? Like, don't just go to the facts like you're a freaking robot or something, because we're all trying to get something out of you to bring you forgiveness, and you're not helping. Mallory 81 says she has zero self-awareness, and Jenny says she looks like she's preparing for what's coming because it is that night and all made up. She knows she has to be very careful. She seems like she's in distress and worried. Absolutely. She has stress all over her face with the rapid blinking. I know we are doing this at 1.5, but it's even easier when you're watching the video at 1.5 to see all the facial, the micro expressions that happens in her. Wanda Meyer says, curious of the air brake sounds she makes to accentuate the end of certain words. I have to check what, I haven't noticed that. I know there's a lot of breathing, like there's one here on this book, Body Language by Joe Navarro, saying like loud, short exhaling, where lips are left slightly open indicates stress and frustration. I don't know if that's the one that you're talking about, or cathartic exhaling with puffed out cheeks. I don't know. We'll check to see if we can if we can observe that again on her. If anybody sees it, let me know in the comments. So let's see how she describes that night.
Approach.
Look at her faces now. Very important part to look at the faces when there is nothing, no questions, okay? Because that's when the real person comes out, and look at that. She's smiling at somebody. This is going great. I'm doing great. I'm here. This is my moment. It's my time to shine. Hello, world. I'm Sarah Boone, and this is my time. So this is how she seems to me right now, and it's absolutely inappropriate. She's going to talk about George that night, and because there was an objection, she's like smiling, which, you know, a lot of times could be nervousness too, but she does way too much. She does it way too much. She's looking at somebody like, how am I doing? Huh? I told you I would do great here. Like, you gotta believe me. And it's the lack of self-awareness, guys, the lack of reading the room. Read the room and check who you're talking to. Your audience is waiting for some remorse and you're smiling. Not good, Sarah. Just not good. Dave E says Sarah has no idea how much this is backfiring on her. The constant congratulations so off-putting. Oh yeah, we read that. Now, Anne Finnegan, I think Mr. Owens was at fault. I genuinely think he told her she would get off. Sarah and Owens came over dislikable, which didn't help her case. Her statement in witness stand was obviously coached. I think that she loves to be in power and in control, and I think that it was hard for anyone to work with her, as we can see for, you know, by her having 9 attorneys prior. But yeah, I mean, they both didn't help that much. At one point, I was surprised with him because I was like, wow, there's defense in this case. That's amazing. But at the end of the day, you know, honestly, didn't help. I'll get your timestamp from a previous clip. Okay, thank you, Wanda. That'll be helpful because then I'll just do some research and we can all learn about that. Instant Justice, true crime and trial. She's smiling at the camera. Oh, is that what it is? I think she was smiling at someone at this point right now. I know she did smile at the camera, but at this time she's looking at the deputy and maybe somebody from the defense team, kind of like, you know, good. Cat Mandy says, I'm late. You might have already covered it, but just can't get over her nonstop blinking the entire time. We talked about blinking real quick, but we'll definitely talk more about blinking because her blink is off the hook. And like I said, this video we are watching at 1.5 speed, so it will be even faster, but it helps you to see the micro expressions happening in her face even better, because when you're at normal speed, you don't realize a lot of the little things that are happening in the face, and the blinking is off the hook. It means stress, of course, and we can actually take the whole meaning out of the book here in a minute. Mrs. C says body language analysis is so interesting. It's fascinating because it's things that we do subconsciously. We don't realize, we're not trying. She's trying to send a message here, but her body is saying something else. And us, even when we don't understand exactly what the meaning is of some subtleties that happen in somebody else's face, as a whole, we are left with a feeling, a gut feeling. Do I believe her? Do I buy what this person is telling me? Something is off. Something is off about you. I don't know what it is. And that is how our limbic system works. We're able to read people in a way. Mallory 81, you're I don't know. Jenny Allison says, Owen said he didn't think she would get second degree and he was shocked about that. He wanted her to take the plea, but thought they proved the battered spouse syndrome and self-defense factor beyond a reasonable doubt. Absolutely insane, right? Definitely no, you did definitely not, sir. You did not prove that because you have no self-awareness, Mr. Owens. If you have watched the videos of your clients being a complete bully to the victim and you thought, oh yeah, she was the one that was the better spouse. I mean, fine, maybe they both had situations in the past. I'm not sure. I wasn't there and there was zero proof during the trial besides her wounds, right? Besides her physical wounds that I don't know how she got them. There was zero proof that that was like a direct thing that George did. So, but with your client, we could see her belittling him, her treating him like a dog, saying, "Why are you here? You know, why are you sleeping on the floor in my bedroom? I told you to get out. Get out. I don't love you. I don't like you. You're what is it? A dumpster diver." Like just absolute abuse from her part. Ask Bob, she might look a little more sympathetic with maybe some makeup and a little hairstyle. Yeah, she's like, guys, I need my hair did. I need my hair did. She could get curls like I did today, get a little bit more makeup and be like, okay, now you believe me? Yeah, forget about the little video. Forget about my confession. Just believe me. Dave says, in my opinion, she and Owens used each other. Fortunately, it didn't work for either one of them. Wanda says, near mine is a very funny, very smart tongue click. This disheveled hair. It's on the word hair. Okay, let's see if we can find this that Wanda is saying because I have this video right here.
But
Hold on. Go video.
he was very handsome. He was very funny. He was smart, and I would show up in workout clothes and disheveled hair, and I guess I kind of felt broken from being in the process of a divorce that he knew about. But
So Wanda is telling me there's a sound she makes. Very smart, tongue click, disheveled hair. It's on the word hair. I hear this sound often from her, like a breathing sound. So I'm trying to like listen for it. Let me know if you guys get anything.
he was very handsome. He was very funny. He was smart, and I would show up in workout clothes and disheveled hair, and I guess I kind of felt broken from being in the process of a divorce that he knew about. But
I don't know. Maybe we'll find it in a minute. But she does also use a lot of filler words there. So okay, Wanda said my timestamp is wrong. All right, let's keep going here with Sarah Boone's testimony. And after there's an objection and she's smiling at somebody, and we're gonna see how that goes. Stop smiling, Sarah. This is a very solemn moment. Be respectful for the life that was lost. It's not about you, babe.
Objection's overruled for now.
Ooh, you won. Overruled.
Let's just, instead of one long speech, let me break you up over the course of the day. So, do you remember the date of February 23rd, 2020?
yes,
Do you remember getting up?
yes,
All right, just tell the jury about that morning. What y'all did that morning. What you and George spent the night together at the apartment.
yes. At that point, he was living there.
Yes. So y'all slept in the bed together upstairs. February. So y'all gotten up that morning, February 23rd of 2020.
Yes.
All right, tell the jury what happened when y'all got up.
He was already downstairs, and I went downstairs, and he wanted to start the day off by drinking because it was a day off from his job, and I talked him into cleaning and tidying up the house for a sense of accomplishment. So that is what we did for however long that it took. So we did tidy up the house and got everything in order, and it was kind of a reward, I guess, to be able to sit and enjoy ourselves and send it back to work.
All right, what do you mean by cleaning up the house? What did y'all do?
We swept and mopped. We folded some of the laundry. I know that we did the dishes, emptied the dishwasher, just general run-of-the-mill tidying up.
And did you have your son coming the next day?
Yes, that was one of the reasons why we were able to do that.
What was the arrangement you had in terms of the next day would have been your day to pick up your son from school?
Yes,
What time would you pick Lucas up from school the next day?
I believe his school ended at 3 o'clock.
Okay. So you would have been responsible to pick him up and he would be spending the night with you that night.
Yes,
So you wanted to have the house nice and clean.
yes,
How many bedrooms are in the home?
2.
And you and George had one bedroom?
Yes.
And who had the other?
Lucas.
All right. Is that exclusively his bedroom?
Yes.
All right. So how long would it have taken you all that morning to clean?
I don't really remember what time we woke up, but maybe a good 2, maybe 3 hours.
Okay. And would it be fair to say that you and George both smoked cigarettes?
Yes,
And would it be fair to say that you and George both drink alcohol?
yes,
So at some point, y'all finished your chores, right? And then y'all were going to enjoy the day.
yes.
All right, what was the plan?
It was just kind of, we've got the day to ourselves. It's just kind of relax and go with the flow.
Did y'all make a decision that y'all were going to start drinking?
Yes, we had a half of a bottle that was already in the refrigerator, and I did not want to go out afterwards. I, again, had Lucas coming the next day, so we went over to Publix to purchase another bottle of wine so we could not have to go out later on that evening.
Now, you were here in court when the state played the video
A
of
mega
you two
pint of wine.
and the Publix purchasing the bottle of wine.
Yes,
Is that what you're referring to here with the jury right now?
yes,
Okay. And that was around noonish?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. Had y'all started drinking the leftover bottle before going to the Publix?
No.
Okay. So y'all bought a bottle of wine?
Yes,
All right. And how did y'all get to Publix?
my car,
How far is Publix from your apartment?
5 minutes.
How would you get there from your apartment?
What do you mean?
Did you have to go across any major highways or is it right there?
You just come out of our apartment complex and you do a little U-turn and then you come up and it's right in that complex.
But it's easier to drive than to walk.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know at sometimes y'all would simply need cigarettes and it was in walking distance. Can you tell the jury about that?
Yes, there was a AutoZone convenience store with in the same, I guess, parking lot of our townhome or complex, and it was just a straight shot from our apartment to a back gate, and you could get right into the convenience store from right there.
Okay. But y'all went over to get that bottle of wine around noonish. And how did you took your car?
Yes,
Did George have a vehicle?
we did not.
And how did you pay for the wine?
With my debit card.
And then y'all came back and started drinking?
Yes.
Okay. Tell us what you did when you got back from the Publix.
Just went on the back porch where we usually spend our time because we're able to smoke cigarettes outside as opposed to inside, and
Is cigarette smoking not allowed indoors?
it is not.
Okay. Do you have pets?
So she does a lot of the tongue tutting, right? And so per the book, it says that sharp sound with the tongue against the palate of the mouth, often accompanied by a disapproving or annoyed expression. So what I always like to remember is that when we're looking at micro expressions of the face or body language or behavior sound, we have to look at the whole picture. What is the person talking about? Why is she disapproving of this subject? Well, she's talking about George. She's talking about how he wanted to get the wine and stuff like that. So I don't know if that's a filler for her and this and that, but that's what we are hearing here when she's talking about him specifically and the drinking. Let's keep going.
Yes, I do.
Or did you have pets?
I did. Yes.
Okay. Were they with y'all there that day?
Yes, my dogs were with
The
me all the time.
Who comes
How
back
many dogs do you have?
I have 2,
And just what are their names?
Penny and Tess.
and
What's the breed?
They are red Boston Terriers.
And are they both disabled?
Yes, Penny is blind and Pef is deaf.
So when y'all went out to smoke,
okay, so the side very strong disapproval here. So why, Mr. Owens, do you think that continuously trying to show her as a victim more than normal? Why do you think that's a good approach? I think a good approach would be to honor George's memory, to talk about how horrible this was, to remember that instead of being, let's talk about you, Sarah, how you're a great person, how he asked to marry you, how you never wanted to drink, how you paid with your debit card, right? How you drove your car, right? And how your animals were disabled. Oh, Sarah, you are a saint. So even though Mr. Owens is not talking like I am and he's just asking her questions, as a normal human being with a gut feeling, that's what we get. We're like, we're not buying this. Why are you talking about, this lady freaking did that. Like, I'm not buying this. Um, Let me go over some of your comments that I start here because I don't want to miss anything. Mallory81 says, I think with George, it was probably reactive violence though. That's a theory, right? Dave E says George drank to cope with her. George seems to always be taking a nap or just sitting there chilling with his feet up and like a little bit buzzed. And he was like, what are you talking about? Like she would wake him up. Da, 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 da. What a freaking nightmare this lady was. And he was just like, dude, what do you want? Wanda says, okay, so we will find that for you. We will find it, Wanda. Jenny Allison, she's smiling at her girlfriend that she met in the gym. I heard that. I heard that before, guys. I don't know. That's crazy. What? How is her girlfriend gonna from jail gonna be? Is her girlfriend in jail too? Or how is she at the trial? That doesn't make sense, Jenny, unless she has like an outsider that is a girlfriend that visits her in jail. I love how she's churching up her infidelity. So gross. Wanda, poor George. I always felt terrible for him, but after the state's video rebuttal, it took the wind out of me for a day. It was very hard to watch. I didn't even play it again here because it's just terrible. It's terrible from a person to enjoy the suffering of others. And that's why we talk a little bit about borderline the other day, and like the narcissistic personality disorder, because some of these people that have those, and I'm not saying Sarah does, but some of these people that have those, they can watch somebody suffer in front of them and they don't have remorse or empathy. They don't have the compassion that most people do. They actually enjoy. They thrive on it. So when I watched that video of George sleeping on the floor outside her bedroom like a dog, not like a dog, because I'll tell you, my dog, he sleeps like a king. Okay, Whisper has his whole side of the bed. He has a warming blanket. He gets a massage. He is a king in my house. So my dog's not going to sleep outside on the floor. But hey, some people, their dog is fine doing that. And that's how George was. Like, dude, what are you doing waking me up? It's just like, I'm just waking you up to tell you how awful you are. And now, Sarah, after we have that, like how? And this is actually the testimony was before they showed these videos, but they had seen the suitcase video here. So they're not buying it. Look at her body. Her body is not buying either, because after she gives her spiel, her lips go to the side again as a strong sign of extreme disapproval. So her body doesn't buy it. Want to say it was crushing, wasn't it? Lynn, hello, Lynn. Good to see you here. I'm at work, but I'm going to watch this when I get home. I can't wait to relax. I'm beat. There you go. That's good. Watch some nice body language videos and just relax later. George seemed like a sweet guy. I wish he could have gotten away from her. Yes, absolutely. And that's the whole thing, the lessons that we get from these types of situations. It's like we can be supportive to our friends. We can be supportive to people that we meet, that we start talking. Just be like, open up, just be a ear for people to talk. Like, how you doing? Oh, everything okay? Sometimes people just don't talk because they don't feel comfortable talking to other people. We live a very superficial life. Sometimes it's like, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Good. How are you? Good, good, good. Everybody's good. Everything is good. And it's really hard for people to open up. So sometimes, talking to a neighbor, to a friend, and just be like, oh, how you doing? How you guys doing? Doing okay? And if the person seems to want to talk, you can imagine somebody just giving him some good tips and some good advice and being like, dude, that's not right. I mean, you guys are constantly arguing. If you ever need to talk to somebody, I'm here for you. Imagine the difference that little things like that can make to can make in somebody's life. She's such a hypocrite. Yeah, okay, so let's keep going here so we can cover some ground.
On the back porch and drink, I assume, as well, correct?
Deep
Yes.
breath,
Do y'all
Sarah.
take the dogs out?
Oh, yes.
All right. Is there a place for them to do their business out there?
Yes, I extended our back porch for them to have a little bit of area as opposed to going from a large backyard from my marital home to our little townhome. And they would come out there and do their business, and I would open the gate and then walk them in the back part of our apartment.
So you and George were just going to enjoy the day together?
Correct.
Is it fair to say y'all don't have a lot of money?
Yes.
And so y'all were going to do something there in the home? Y'all weren't going out for dinner? Or...
Yes, I would consider us homebodies as opposed to going out and partying and doing this and that.
Okay. And how long do you think y'all were out that afternoon outside?
A few hours.
All right. Could you tell the jury what y'all did during that time?
We have a dartboard that's out there, and we just had drinks, and we're just really enjoying each other's company and talking about, things upcoming. We both were looking for a job, and just kind of, I guess, encouraging and supporting and planning.
Well, now you said he had a job. Was he looking for a job, a second
Lip
job?
compression.
No, the job that he had was very unstable, and at that,
So he was looking for something.
You were
new.
unstable.
yes, at that time, yes,
And so during that 2 or 3 hours, would it be fair to say that y'all drank the bottle?
yes,
The
Okay.
mega
So
pint,
would it be fair to say that y'all were feeling the effects
like a
of the
bottle
alcohol?
like this.
yes,
At some point, who made the decision to come in?
I did.
Okay. Why did y'all want to come in?
I felt that George needed a change of scenery.
Okay. So y'all came in, and
I felt that George needed a change of scenery. So again, now she has the squinting eyes, like what are you gonna ask me next? So these little subtleties, I think that no matter what you try to do, Sarah, we catch on to it because it's not gonna be the first, second, third time that you're gonna refer to yourself making the decisions, right? And then we go back to that video that we all watched. Here, Jenny said, yeah, really hard to watch in a way more difficult than the suitcase video, which I agree because you see his state and hear him. As hard as it was to watch, I'm glad the state showed it to the jury. So many, so they get it. I agree with you 100%. I think that just like confirmed everything that you could have had a doubt. So this is my position. I came into the trial and I had already covered the interrogation here in this channel, right? So we did a few videos on the 2-hour interrogation. And I was like, I see signs of narcissistic personality disorder. I created a few videos to show the traits of narcissism here. And I was like, this lady is the textbook guilty person because she not only told the detectives, yes, like I did it, but it wasn't intentional, meaning second degree, not first degree or manslaughter, but she recorded it. I was like, who? She recorded it. So when you have like video evidence and you have the person saying there's no case, in my opinion, that's how I came into the trial, right? So then I come into the trial after all the shenanigans and I'm watching, I'm like, all right, let me try to be neutral, which is not possible because I came in thinking she's guilty. And I was surprised to hear the defense. I was surprised that they actually had some defense when they showed her wounds. All of this that is going on right now, the testimony in the beginning, didn't touch me at all. Didn't do anything. I was like, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But when they started talking about her wounds and showing the knife wound, I was like, oh, whoa. Maybe there's something here. But then this is just my whole perception of the trial. When he said, which is something I didn't know, that she beat his hand with a bat because he was trying to get out, I was like, psycho. And then when they showed the videos of how she actually spoke to them, it triggered me a lot because, like I said on the last video last week, I've had people in my life, unfortunately, that have used that type of manipulation, that type of derogatory comments, and people that put you up in a pedestal one day and the next day they just crush you to the ground and stomp on your head, and they use the most hurtful things like your kids are not good, you're not good, nobody loves you, and it's just so hard to understand that type of pain that you can cause somebody and just go on with your life like nothing happened. I saw here, Ask Bob saying, I never understood how many Nazis could participate in the Holocaust with no feelings or remorse. Humans can be so unhuman. Yeah, and that is what happens with the psychopaths, right? The psychopaths, they don't have the empathy, they don't have the amygdala in their brains, so they're able to commit the most heinous, I can't say it. You guys know what I'm talking about. The most terrible crimes with no remorse. And they will sit there and they will have the duper's delight in their face. They will have the little smile. They will just be like, yeah, look at me. Like, I'm wonderful. They will like the attention. There's just so many psychopaths that we can learn from and just understand that not everybody's like you. Not everybody's like me. So this is something that I've learned to be careful with my expectations, because when I have expectations that other people are going to treat me the way I would treat them, I get hurt, right? So I have to understand everybody's having their own lives. And I don't know who's who. I don't know who has the brain with the amygdalas and who doesn't. But she definitely seems to have some pleasure out of watching George suffer in those videos.
Then, did y'all do anything else before he left again? Were y'all doing anything? I know y'all did some arts and crafts. What did y'all do? At some point, he went to get another bottle at Publix.
Yes. After,
Haha, Helen,
it
someone.
was right before, I believe, that we had gone inside. Because he called his daughters. I was trying to encourage him to call his family.
Yeah.
Okay, now
Very
where are
hard.
his daughters?
His two daughters are located in Pennsylvania,
And what are their names?
Anna and Destiny.
And how old are they?
I believe that Anna is in her 30s and Destiny may be in her early 20s.
All right, does he have any more children?
Yes, he has a son.
And what is his son?
He's in Pennsylvania also.
Okay. So part of that afternoon is y'all came in to call relatives, call family.
No, I had him call outside, just trying to, I guess, boost the mood. The first daughter didn't answer, and I don't remember the reason I didn't speak to the second one. I believe he did. It was just for a moment.
All right, now whose phone y'all using?
My phone.
All right. And is that common for y'all to use that, for y'all to share that phone?
It was because George said that he didn't have a phone, so it would either be lost or given to him by his mother. So I didn't know he had a cell phone, so we would use my phone.
So it was primarily your phone?
Yes.
Okay. And you took a lot of photographs that were on that phone?
Yes.
Videotapes?
Yes.
Text messages?
Yes.
Phone call?
Yes. He and I both on the phone calls.
So he would use it as well?
Yes.
And that phone, is that the one that was seized in this case?
Yes.
All right, so y'all called his daughters, and then during that phone call period, did you also call his brother?
Yeah.
Okay, and which brother was that?
John.
And how many,
And she says she did that to boost the mood, right? So when she speaks about herself, it's always positive. It's always great. It's always that I did this so that he could be better because I have that power over him, right? Let's say that's the meaning behind. Hi, Karina. It's good to see you. Karina, I love Karina. Karina has been here since day one. Hi, everyone, and hi to my friend Bianca. And Ask Bob, too. Ask Bob, too. Let's just get some of your comments here so we can stay on track. Cat Mandy had, oh, I lost it. Okay, Jenny, it is true she got out, so she came for that day. Oh, the girlfriend. All right. The girlfriend. Okay. That's the tea. Wanda says he seemed very sweet. I feel any violence he displayed was in self-defense. I don't believe a word she says. Her lies damage real victims' rights. Absolutely. And it's like in the interview, right? During the interview, she was like, I don't know what you guys want me to say. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. What do you want me to say? And then Mr. Owens comes in and says, you say you're a victim of domestic violence. And she's like, I got it. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. So she is willing to say whatever needs to be said, and she will try however she needs to try, whatever needs to be done to get what she wants. She says that herself during the interrogation videos. Cat Mandy says the story she tells us is beyond ridiculous and unbelievable. Add in her body language, and it's almost funny that her lawyers thought anyone would buy it. I am surprised with Mr. Owens' lack of self-awareness too in some of the decisions he made, although I don't think he was terrible, and I think he did make some good decisions. It's an impossible case. There's video evidence and there's like a confession. So what else can you say? What else can you say, right? And it was worse than I thought, because when I started watching the trial, I did not know about the bat. When I found out about the bat, I was like, guilty. I have no compassion. Like, I'm done with this lady. Like, done. I don't like the prison system at all and thinking about somebody getting locked up for life, but this lady is so cruel. And I was like, done, done. Jenny says she said she was looking for a job, even though she hadn't had one in 2 years. Never believed her for a second. Dave saying, I am a 47-year-old man, and it broke my heart seeing him on the floor, leaned against his girl's door, sleeping like a dog. I absolutely agree with you, Dave, 100%. And sometimes people, they get trapped in a situation, they get trapped in a relationship, they don't see how they can get out, they don't have the strength, or whatever it is that might have somebody in a situation like that. But nobody should be treated that way. And nobody, it's really hard, because it's like cognitive dissonance, right? When you're with somebody and you're being mistreated, you might think, wait, but they're really nice at times, and then it's not that bad, or whatever you tell yourself to stay in that situation. But that's not normal. This is not normal. It's better, I feel it's better to be alone and find happiness and find joy than be in a situation where you're treated by someone who is completely unstable, who never took care of herself mentally, and is treating you like a dog. Like, not good, not good at all. I don't know, you were doing a live. I'm trying to do a live every Sunday afternoon, Karina, and I did have it on the alert. So I don't know if you didn't see it. I will try to post it during this week for next Sunday. For next Sunday, like what time it's gonna be. She's fascinating to me, Helen says. I absolutely agree with you, Helen. She is a very fascinating case of behavioral analysis, psychology, and body language. The mouth says it all. And Jenny says, triggered me too. So did Owen's closing statement. People like this are very dangerous, and the real monsters that live among us. The scariest kind. The scariest kind, yes. It's the kind that shows up being, the victim, the calm, the one that has all the right words. And the other guy's like, no matter what happens, I always end up being the wrong one. Bianca, when you listen to her describe how she hit his hands, she slips and says, no, don't go, then corrects herself. I think she hit him as he was packing to leave. That's interesting. We're going to get there. All right, let's see. What else, guys? Let me see. Let me get some of these comments before we keep going. So she took his art off the wall and smashed it. She's probably full of it. Sarah knows what healthy and sane are. She just isn't those things, right? Helen says, can I have a ring back? That was like the funniest part of that interview. She's like, okay, guys, I have my list of questions. You guys let me know when you're done with whatever it is that you're doing, because I don't know why I'm here. And by the way, can I get my ring back? George was sweet. You could tell. You could tell he was sweet and calm. And like, even when he was hitting that television, that they were doing some type of weird thing together. I don't know if it was an old TV, if they were just trying to release stress. He wasn't threatening there. When somebody is threatening, like, that doesn't seem that he was threatening. She's so gross. Hello. Owens was just as narcissistic as Sarah. I feel like Sarah's personally ticked off Karma, and he came for her. Hey, Karma, my name is Sarah Boone, and I'm going to. Sarah cannot read the room. I think she's evil. Look deep into her eyes. Snake eyes. Look at these eyes right now. Snake evil eyes, and just squinting at her attorney like, I'm going to put you in a suitcase later. Totally. And then she played his head like crazy. Elaine Mackenzie, good to see you here. She says she's she emasculated George and probably Brian too. Brian's saving grace was his size and the fact that he was sober. Yeah, Brian, thank God he's out of that one. That was that was a good escape for you. I can't find a word right now, but thank God Brian is out of that one. Dave says, in my opinion, people with low self esteem are the most toxic in relationships. Yes, and also in my experience, a lot of times people with low self esteem end up getting into relationships too, and they end up suffering from this type of people because they don't think they can do any better, or they don't think they can be happy alone. I have one of my favorite books right here that I read when I met a narcissistic guy, narcissistic personality disorder guy. This is called Psychopath Free. This is from Jackson Mackenzie. This book is really good. Like, it gives you red flags of emotionally, of like toxic people, and how they start grooming you, how the love bombing phase goes, how the gaslighting goes. And I didn't really know any of this. Like, in the beginning of the book, they have spotting toxic people, 30 red flags. Really good book for me, personally. So, wolf in sheep's clothing. Yes, because for example, when I met this guy that I read the book about later, this guy was so nice, always helping everybody, always talking to everybody, listening to everybody, always smiling, giving me a hug. I'm like, that's a really nice guy. And then once he started with the love bombing, and then the discard, the this, the that, I'm like, oh, what the hell is going on here? Confident, self-reliant people never have any of these issues. Yeah, we gotta learn, right? One thing that I've learned is confidence comes from taking care of yourself and having actions in your life that are going to make you a better person, whatever it may be. It may be spending time in nature, meditation, going to the gym, eating better, drinking more water, reading books, spending time with people that are positive, whatever it may be. Actions will build you up to be a better person, therefore give you confidence. And then you're going to be able to spot, like, after this guy that I read the book about, I had another guy like, oh, I would like to take you to dinner, blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, great. I was excited, and then first red flag, I was like, oh, no, 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 block, because I could see the guy was gonna start with the whole little game, that I'm not interested in. Mallory says, but folks who low self-esteem are more vulnerable to predators like Sarah too. That's what I said. Exactly. And they stay because they don't think they can do any better or be alone. Hello, baby. And we all have issues and self-esteem problems, but we keep trying. Just succumb to it all. I agree with you 100%. We all have issues and self-esteem problems. It's like comparing our insides with other people's outsides. You look at people and you're like, oh, look at them. They're so pretty. They're doing so well. They're so healthy. Look at them. I'm not. But we have to realize that everybody has their inner struggles. Everybody's going through something. Everybody has doubts. And we just don't see it because nobody wants to put out their insecurities, right? Yes, evil Evelyn. Wanda says, do you think she realized she could have taken the plea, or does her grandiosity convince her otherwise? My firm belief is that her grandiosity convinces her otherwise. I think she's thinking, like her attorney says, she's shocked that she was convicted, and she's thinking, okay, we have to get to the appeal so that they can see how I was right. I don't think at any moment she is thinking, wow, they really saw me being cruel to George. I thought I could get away, but I couldn't. I don't think her grandiosity allows her to see that. Helen, more water. Water, yay. You gotta drink lots of water. Watching Amber Heard made me realize I needed a diagnosis and was mentally ill. that was a hard, like her faces would be like, Ever Heard was a difficult one. Maybe we'll rewatch Ever Heard in this channel one day because I wasn't doing YouTube back then. Kat Mandy says, even when she talks about their relationships, ship, she made all the decisions, controlled the phone, the car, the money. Victims of domestic violence don't have that kind of control over the abuser. Exactly. Um, Jenny says she definitely thought she was going to be acquitted. Definitely. She was so surprised. So surprised. And Hallie says she didn't even flinch at those videos, which is true. Her reactions also to like not only what she does matter in her behavior and body language, not only what her micro expressions are matter, but what she doesn't do matters sometimes even more, right? The fact that she doesn't cry, the fact that she's not remorseful, the fact that she's not going trying to like succumb into a cave when she's going through all those evidence that when all the evidence is being presented against her, the fact that she's not crying when his family is here, all of that speaks so loudly to the jury because the jury is observing everything she does, and her laughing at this one, smiling at this one, acting all giddy and this is great, it's my day in court, ha ha ha, how's my hair, is not good. So let's get out of this killer look that has killed us here just watching and see what else she has to say.
How many brothers and sisters does George have?
I'm gonna list them if that's okay.
Okay.
It's John, Pharrell, Isaac, Mo, and his sister.
Okay. And do they all live here in Florida?
Yes,
Are they close by?
as far as I know, yes.
What about his parents?
Yes,
Do they live here as well?
yes,
Okay. But his ex-wives and his children live up in Philadelphia?
yes.
Okay. So you called the girls, then you called, or George called his brother.
Yes.
Was that conversation that long?
No, it's not.
Okay. And then after that phone call, were y'all inside by this time?
Yes, at this point, I believe that it was a good time to get a change of scenery. So I thought George would be better off inside, and frankly, I didn't want to be outside any longer either.
Okay. So just to get an idea, about this time is when he went to get the second bottle, or did y'all stay inside for a while before he left?
No, from what I recall, I thought the day was over, and it was going to be get ready for the evening, for the day. What do you want for dinner? Do you have an extra load of laundry that you need to throw in, kind of thing. And that was my understanding. And
This was about 5-ish or something?
I don't remember the time.
Okay. At some point during that time period, did George go to Publix again?
Yes, I thought he was going to be walking to the convenience store, but apparently when he returned, he had gone across the street with my car and my debit card to buy another bottle of wine.
What was your understanding of where he was going?
To the convenience store, walking.
For what?
Cigarettes.
And you learned obviously that he came back and you learned that he'd used your vehicle
Yes,
and he'd used your debit card
yes,
and he brought back a bottle of wine from Publix.
correct.
And you saw the Publix video of that.
Karina.
Yes,
So he comes back with the other bottle of wine, and did he want you to drink with him?
it was expected, yes.
Yes. And you agreed to consume the second bottle with him?
Yes.
Okay. So over the course of that evening, drinking the wine, what did y'all do for time-wise? Watch a movie, music, just kind of tell the jury what you remember. I know it's obviously been a while, but...
It was kind of a regular thing where I would always try to come up with entertaining activities for George. And
Oh, you were trying to come up with entertaining activities for George? Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing that for George.
I bought a puzzle. We started off at one point doing a smaller puzzle, and then we did that very quickly. So then I purchased a larger puzzle, and I believe it was 1,000 pieces. So I thought to get his mind off of things and to focus on something, it would be smart for us to do the puzzle. So for however long that took, we finished the puzzle. So that was one.
Every piece was finished, or was it?
Every piece was finished. It was strange that we couldn't find one piece. And I thought it was funny that it was like in the perfect place on there. But yes, everyone but one piece.
All right, after the puzzle...
And here is the little smile again. It's the smug smile. Like when she thinks she said something great. Like not this one. Like right before this face, she does a little... Every time she finishes with something she thinks is great.
Publix from your apartment?
5 minutes.
How would you get there from your apartment?
Oh, whatever. We don't need to go back to all that. So let me read some of your comments here. Natishak. I hated the fact when George was trying to get out of the suitcase, she swapped swapped him with a bat. That was just so evil and absolutely terrible. I agree with you. I was like, what? She did what now? She did what? I'm not buying it. That's perfect name for this video. She was cold as ice when George's family got upset. Yeah, guilty. I mean, what do you want from people, Sarah? You say you're so smart, you're straight A student, you do everything, you know how to do everything, and you can't understand that people are not going to believe you when you show no compassion to his family. She's completely socially inept on every level, says Black Eagle, the awesome uppity Ale. I love your name. Hello, baby. She was jealous. He had a family and a big family. Elaine says 100%. Hello, baby. Keep thriving. Absolutely, guys. Keep thriving. Keep thriving. Keep. Not every day is going to be perfect, but we keep trying, right? And Finnegan Owens tried to say she pushed his hand in with the bat. Clearly, she had battered him with it. Jury saw through that. That is just awful. I mean, honestly, she deserves to be guilty. She deserves. I'm curious to see what the judge is going to say because the judge was awesome. But very cruel. She's very cruel. Hello, baby. Sarah can never grow as she can never be really self aware. Right, right. It's her. So, this is something that I see in the borderline diagnosis with the this DSM is the perception. The perception of the person is completely different than everybody else's perception. So, her reality is something else, and that is something very difficult to understand. Brazilian girl, long time no see. Good to see you here. This case is so disturbing. I can't unsee the suitcase video. So traumatizing. Absolutely. Hello, baby. I hear the prison she's headed to is awful. Know that. Know that. Remember what Sarah says? Know that. Black Eagle, the awesome uppity, Ale. Her face gymnastics give her away completely. Yeah, it's like lots of things. Wanda says, imagine what is in that head. My son has serious mental illness, and at 70, I just learned I'm on the spectrum. So I'm not judging if she has a personality disorder. For God's sake, what's going on, Sarah? Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with having something wrong with us and going to get some help and going to understand ourselves better so that we can be better people for ourselves and the people around us. Absolutely nothing wrong. I definitely have things wrong with me that I take care of, and I do seek help, and I go, I do a lot of work, internal work, to try to be a better person in this world. But not having the self-awareness, right? Not knowing, not admitting something is wrong with you, and just going on like uh going on like she does, bullying everybody around her, having a different perception of the world, and just mistreating the people in prison, the judge, the attorneys, and everybody that touches her life is very sad. R. Seabreeze Guyona says Bianca had wondered if anyone else thought she erased those. When she saw it, it was still there. She got sickened. LOL, LOL. I never thought she was innocent. I don't think so, because when the detectives took her phone was the day that they found, the day that George was found deceased. In that morning, they took her phone. She never got her phone back, and she didn't she didn't remember. She had the suitcase video, not alone, no remembering the other videos. Perfect face gymnastics, Bianca. Yes, very, very difficult. Brazilian girl says she was abusive and manipulative. He was completely abused and owned by her. No pity for her. Mallory says she gaslights herself. Know that. Know that. That's my name. Don't wear it out, child. Elaine Mackenzie. The only bit I'm disappointed with is I feel she was undercharged with her second degree. I don't know. I don't know, right? First degree is premeditated murder, and second degree, it's like it wasn't intentional. It wasn't intentional, guys. What are you doing? Why are you going after me? I don't know, but definitely showed some disregard for human life and some cruelty. And I think it's called what, perverse mind or something like that. Seeking North Node, good to see you here. I still can't believe that she thought her cell phone videos showed her in a victim light. She's completely disconnected from reality. Yes, very good case study. Her disconnection is very interesting to me. Unite for Peace 88 says, can't wait till December 2nd, and I wonder if she'll testify. I think she is going to say something because I think Mr. Owens has already said that in one of his interviews that she was going to say something. Dude, like, what are you going to say, Sarah? If you go there and you cry and you say, I'm so sorry about what happened, I love George, and you're sincere, which I don't think is possible, maybe. But I don't think you're going to do that. You're going to say, I'm innocent. I'm innocent. That video is just AI. I'm innocent. Justice for George. Todd Woolley says, hey, Bianca, it looks like you love Sarah as much as I do. Oh, no. No. I'm fascinated by her mind. I can't wait till December 2nd. I think I will have a big sentencing party with a pool to guess how many years she gets. Please, at least 35. I do think she's not going to get the minimum. I think she's going to get something in between the minimum and life. I like 35. So the minimum is 22 and a half, I believe, or 24. What is the minimum? 22 and a half. So maybe 30 years, something like that. So if anybody's looking for a party, Todd Woolley is having a pool party at his house. Oh no, pool party, sentencing party, and we're all gonna bet on how many years Sarah's gonna get. Wanda says she's pretty dumb for being so smart. Accurate. RC Breeze Gaona, and she drove him to defend himself. Cat Manny, I thought he needed a change of scenery. I came up with the activities. I didn't like this music, so I picked what he listened to. So controlling. Black Eagle, the awesome uppity LA says Duper's delight to the max. So narcissistic. She thinks she's making sense. LOL. She sounds like a basket case. The jury saw through her lies. That's right. That's right. And this whole thing about the puzzle, like the puzzle, and there was like it was a small puzzle, but we did it very quickly, so we got a bigger puzzle because we're so smart. And then just like, dude, talk about the real issue here. Connect with the people in a real level. Don't. Anyways, let's keep going, Sarah. Go for it. Tell us your story.
Do you have to go across any major highways, or is it right there?
You just come out of our apartment complex and you do a little U-turn and then you come up and it's right in that complex.
Okay, but it's easier to drive than to walk.
Yes.
Okay. Now, I know at sometimes y'all would simply need cigarettes and it was in walking distance. Can you tell the jury about that?
Yes. There was
Yes,
a
we'll
AutoZone
definitely do a
convenience
live
store
on December
with,
2nd,
in the same, I guess,
guys.
parking lot
Definitely.
of our townhome or complex, and it was just a straight shot from our apartment to a back gate, and you could get right into the convenience store from right there.
Okay, but y'all went over to get that bottle of wine around noonish, and how did y'all you took your car?
Yes.
Did George have a vehicle?
We did not.
And how did you pay for the wine?
With my debit card.
And then y'all came back and started drinking?
Yes.
Okay, tell us what you did when you got back from the Publix.
Just went on the back porch where we usually spend our time because we're able to smoke cigarettes outside as opposed to inside. And
Is cigarette smoking not allowed indoors?
it's not.
Okay.
What? We saw the body cam videos of you guys smoking inside the house. What are you talking about, Sarah?
Do you have pets?
And look
Yes.
at her blink rate.
I did.
Or did you have pets?
Do you have pets? Yeah, you already talked about how they're disabled.
I did, yes.
Okay.
I hope they're okay.
Were they
It drives
with
me
y'all there
crazy
that day?
when these
Yes, my dogs were
psychopaths
with
have
me
pets,
all the time
honestly.
How many dogs do you have?
I have two,
And just what are their names?
Penny and Tess.
And what is the breed?
They are red Boston
Wait,
Terriers.
did I go backwards to okay, hold on. I think we were here.
Every piece was finished, or was it?
Every piece was finished. It was
Oh,
strange
yeah,
that we
there you
couldn't
go,
find one
the
piece. We thought
puzzle.
it was funny that it was like in like the perfect place on there. But yes, everyone but one piece.
All right, after the puzzle, what did y'all do?
I decided to continue to maintain and focus him, and I
Oh, you
have
tried
a bunch
to
of
maintain
paints
and
that-
focus him. I decided to maintain and focus him. What is he, like a dog you're training?
I used of my son's that his grandmother bought him. It's a very big art wooden box, and it's got pastels, pencils, paint, any kind of whatever. And he and I were very much into art, and with this resource, it got him very interested in being more creative.
How long have you been into art?
Ever since I can remember, as a child,
You like to draw?
I like to do anything artistic.
And I know, we saw some of the pictures of your apartment, but it looks like there was pictures and artwork up. Is that all your work and George's work?
The majority of it, yes, are belongings from my home, and then also some of George's, yes, on the wall.
Was he pretty good at art as well?
Yes.
All right, so you both enjoyed doing that.
Not as good as I was.
So y'all got out Lucas's art set. What did y'all do with that?
We were just, I guess, doodling, whatever. I would always tell him that everything that you make is a masterpiece. So just let loose and just let it go. And we would
Like
just
a
paint.
child. This lady's so freaking weird. I'm gonna stop here real quick. Mallory81 says, what does excessive blinking mean? And I did have the book here just to go over this. We're gonna go over two things: blink rates, and we're gonna go over to frequent blinking. So blink rates can vary depending on the environment and amount of stress, right? If it's dry, if it's wet, whatever, or arousal a person is experiencing. Each individual is different, but a typical rate is between 16 and 20 blinks per minute. So that would not be something we can see like constantly, right? Depending on lighting conditions, humidity, people looking at computers blink less. Many of home complaint of dry eyes or eye infections. Tears have antibacterial properties, while those who work where there's dust or pollen will blink more. Also be aware that wearing contact lenses can increase how often we blink when we're around someone who arouses us. Our blink rate also tends to increase. So if you have a crush and you see your crush, don't go like, don't start blinking like this, because they will know. Frequent blinking. Now, people who are nervous, tense, or stressed will generally blink more rapidly than those who are not. So it just means the person is stressed. Frequent blinking is erroneously associated with deception. It is only indicative of stress or other factors noted above, as even the honest blink more frequently when being questioned aggressively. So just nervous, just sign of being nervous. Nothing else. Guys, don't forget that December 2nd not only is Sarah Boone's sentencing day, and we will be live covering that, but it's also Karina's birthday. Happy birthday, Karina. We're all gonna celebrate Karina that day. We have here Sarah blinks in a rapid fire machine gun. That's true. Very, very, very stressed she is. I'm wondering what Krennic will say to her. Stern, smart, legalese, and maybe a bit of compassion. Can't wait. The attorney's voice sounds like Alan Jackson. Don't ruin Alan Jackson for me, Brazilian girl. Zach E's Sarah has zero remorse. Maximum penalty from an annoyed Krennic. I don't know if she's gonna give her life because she has a son. I don't know. Maybe her son is gonna come. I don't know. Can't wait to hear the judge's speech prior to sentencing regarding her. She used her son's gift. Disgusting. Our belongings from my home. Your bicycle that I gave you, that is mine. Sarah dominated George like Shaq dominated the boards. Wanda says, I think Krennic will have something epic to say. We'd love for him to end it with, bye, Felicia. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Kat Mandy says, everything you make is a masterpiece. That's something I tell my 3-year-old niece. That's true. Like, everything you make is a masterpiece. So self-awareness, zero.
Paint and drink, yes, and listen to music sometimes, and yes.
Now with the dogs, did y'all get the dogs?
And her proud
My dog's
smile
fine.
after when she says something that she thinks she's doing great. She's like, right after she finishes
Some
that
dancing going on with the dogs?
Yes, after we had completed the puzzle and I guess we're painted out, I thought that it might be a good point for us to maybe listen to some music.
She's blinking. It's too late for that deal. Morse
The music
code.
that George listens to is it's very fractious to me, and it was definitely not going to lighten the mood. So we ended up finding some channel on the radio, and he was feeling it. And then we ended up, my one dog gets very active and was dancing with us, and we were just having a good time listening to music.
And I guess it's getting pretty late in the evening.
Yes.
Anything else I've missed?
I believe so.
All right. So tell us where y'all ended up before you started the game of hide and seek.
We were there. I couldn't think of anything else possibly that I had to continue entertainment.
Not my
But
dog,
I
Todd. My
remember sitting
dog's
at the
like
end
a
of the
prince.
couch and him sitting in one of my son's chairs that was in the living room and just kind of doing this. Like, what are we gonna do now? Like, I very much would like to go to sleep.
Had y'all finished off the that bottle that he had bought?
I don't remember, to be honest with you.
Bless you. Would it be fair to say that
You
as the
don't
day
remember
wore
a lot
on,
of
the more
things.
y'all consumed?
Yes,
And would it be fair to say that as the day wore on, the more you consumed, the more effects you felt from the alcohol?
of course, yes.
Both of them.
Yes,
So you would agree, would you not, that at the time y'all were trying to figure out something to do and you put your head on the couch, that y'all, would it be fair to say that y'all were intoxicated?
yes.
Tell the jury.
So she doesn't like that, right? Every time somebody mentions the level of intoxication, it really bothers Sarah Boone. She is someone who displays extreme traits of narcissistic personality disorder. She loves to tell us how great she is, all her accomplishments. I'm not a good mother. I'm not a great mother. I'm an outstanding mother to my son. I'm a straight A student. I always know what to do and how to do it. I am a great this, a great that. So when you tell her something negative about herself, alcoholic, do you drink too much? Did you black out? Her face just does not like that at all. Her lips go to the side with a sign of extreme disapproval, and she starts biting, pursing her lips. She doesn't like that. Her blinking is off the roof. Off the roof? Okay. And she's extremely angry about having to say yes. We drank too much that night. You can see her chin jut as a sign of aggression. She's not happy. Both her eyebrows are like doing, I can't do it, products and stuff, but her eyebrows are also showing like anger. And she doesn't like to be confronted with this fact. This fact of the alcohol abuse in her life is extremely, it clashes with her perception of herself, of being so great.
Jury, what happened?
At one point, I guess he knew that I couldn't come up with anything else, tapped me on my knee and said, "You're it."
She's
So
Botox
from there,
back.
I ran up the stairs and hid into our shower.
I'm surprised she didn't ask for Botox.
Waiting for him to find me so we could hopefully go to sleep soon at some point. And
And your shower, is it a tub or just walk in?
it's a tub, but it's in the master bedroom. And
Her annoyed face, like just waiting for him to, like, how can you not stop and show some reverence? How can you not just give him a little bit of reverence?
and you have to go all the way upstairs, you have to go in the bedroom, and then you have to go into the bathroom part, and then there's the shower part.
So did you lay down in the tub?
At one point, yes, I was.
So you were hiding.
Motion granted. Motion granted. I motion to officially change the term Karen to Sarah. Okay, so there is a Sarah, my neighbor, and when I see her, I'll be like, "Hi, Sarah. Good morning." And she'll be like, "My name is not Sarah." I'll be like, "Ha ha 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 ha." Unite for Peace 88. Thank you so much for the super chat. That's so nice. I think since it's her first felony, and the psychiatrist says she was a better spouse, I predict 25 years. All right, that's a good call. Yeah, that would definitely play a big role in the sentencing hearing when the psychiatrists do talk about her, for sure.
Just trying.
Okay. And did you believe that he was going to come try to find you?
Yes.
Did you
Oh,
Yes, for quite some time.
All right,
Did you
then what did
believe
decide
it?
to do?
That I decided that I need to go to sleep.
she went like this. Did you believe that he was gonna come? Did you believe that he was gonna try to fight? She's like, yes, which is, first lips disagreement. The lips don't lie. Only your lips
Lie.
lie.
The next day, and we need to start wrapping up the evening. And I went downstairs to find where he was.
And what, I think the
There you
jury has
go.
seen pictures of your, would you call it an apartment or
It's considered a townhome.
a townhome?
Oh,
So you
sorry.
walk down the stairs, right?
Mhm.
And at the bottom of the stairs is a bookshelf here?
Yes, at the very end of it, yes.
Okay. So you walk down the stairs and you turn and look in the living room. What did you see?
I don't even think I made it all the way down the stairwell because I was just looking for him as soon as I could to hopefully go upstairs as soon as we could. And I looked over and I saw him settling himself in the suitcase.
All right, tell us about the suitcase. How long?
What an evil bastard. Sorry, guys. Let me see here. I'm at 513. Let me see if I can do this again.
And what I think the jury has seen pictures of your, would you call it an apartment or
It's considered a townhome.
a townhome? So you walk down the stairs, right?
Mhm.
And at the bottom of the stairs is a bookshelf here?
Yes, at the very end of it, yes.
Okay.
Big
So you walk down the
swallow.
stairs and you turn and look in the living room. What did you see?
I don't even think I made it all the way down the stairwell because I was just looking for him as soon as I could to hopefully go upstairs as soon as we could. And
As soon as I could, as soon as we could. That's what somebody else was telling me about. That she said I was trying to get upstairs as soon as I could, meaning he wasn't with her, meaning he was in the suitcase. And then look at her eyes.
I looked over and I saw him settling himself in the suitcase.
All right, tell us about the suitcase. How long? Is it an older suitcase?
What a freaking evil person, man. Honestly, I can't even express, because it's what she doesn't do, right? It's what she doesn't do as well that is really, really bothersome. She is describing this as a matter of fact robot. And she is just saying, well, I looked at him, no emotion, no regard for him, no remorse, no compassion, no empathy for his family that is there watching this. And she just is very, very hard to. I can't believe that George never, that she convinced him somehow that she loved him, because she's a very cold, calculating person. Cat Mandy, I think Judge K will take all of her letters and previous letters into consideration. The expert says she had BSS, but they only consider what Sarah said. The viewers really paint a different picture. No mascara. She flares her eyelids very often. Elaine says mouth swinging around like Dr. Spiegel from the death trial. Cold as ice. Settling himself, right? I saw him settling himself in the suitcase. She has a terrible poker face, just difficult. I think she's dangerous. Yes. Why would she be wondering about where George is if she expects him to be doing what he always does? She wouldn't be concerned at all if that were the case. Elaine says, I agree with you, Kat, but although the judge is patient, professional, he's over with her BS. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do anything that is gonna be that's gonna be what we want him to do, Listen here, no, I don't think Judge K is gonna do any of that. Zach says, Bianca, how do you think Sarah got George into the suitcase? I don't know. I know there's a lot of theories flying around. People say that he was drunk or he was sleeping. She got him in there and then she threw him off the stairs, down the stairs. I have no idea. No idea. I mean, is it possible that he got in there as a joke? Sure, but is it possible that he said, "Okay, go ahead and zip me up"? I don't know. I just don't know. Cat Mandy, I think with all her past behavior, her lack of remorse, and the fact that she has refused to take responsibility, Judge Kranick will give her at least 30 or 35 years, if not the max. Oh man. Yeah, I think 30 sounds about right in my head. Michelle, I'll be honest, I think there is some sort of magic Sarah does that has these guys in a hold. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Karina, she thinks she can do whatever she wants and somebody will come and save her. Yes, she's entitled. She feels entitlement. You can see that with her actions.
Yes.
Whose suitcase was it?
This is George's suitcase.
All right, and did he use it for traveling back and forth to Philly?
Yes, I had recently taken him on a trip to go see his children in Pennsylvania, who he hasn't seen in
You
years.
had taken him, right? Because he's not an adult. And first of all, and second of all, do you realize the magnitude of what we're talking about here, Sarah? You left a human being in a suitcase. Why are you just talking to the jury in this cold, callous manner? Like, oh yeah, that suitcase belonged to him. I took him, my puppy dog. I took him into this trip to see his family because I'm great. Remember, I'm always just doing all the things to make him a better person. it's just like no emotions.
And we took that with us. And because of how dilapidated it was, how broken it was, in the end, after that trip, we decided that we would donate it.
All right, and I understand y'all
And
kept the
that's
suitcase
it.
upstairs.
The
Yes.
fact
How long
is
did y'all keep it
that,
upstairs?
and there's
Since
no
we had moved
emotion.
Is there a closet up there you kept it in?
Yes, it was in the master closet, the master bedroom closet, all the way in the back because of the size of it, and there was no
Julian
fit, so
Flores
it's all
said
the way
she
in the
put
back.
him
So when
as
did
a
y'all decide to move it down
timeout.
from upstairs to downstairs? Was it that day or sometime earlier?
No, it was maybe a week or so prior.
And so what, y'all were gonna donate that to
Michelle,
the
I
Boone,
have
or-
to look
Yes,
which
we were
one
going
that
to do, like I
is.
said,
Hold
spring
on, which
cleaning.
one that is.
Anyone who has children understands that they grow quickly, and there was a lot of clothes that I needed
I
to
hope it's not the
go
one with the
through,
tie.
of my sons, and then also from George and I moving in and just kind of putting everything in there, at one point where we just needed to actually go through it and organize it and get things more in order.
So is that the reason it was downstairs? You were gonna donate it and a bunch of things that you were gonna put inside.
Correct, yes.
So it'd been down there a week, so it was already down there.
Yes, George brought it down.
Okay, so you said that you got down there, you're looking for him, you see him settling into the suitcase.
Yes.
What did you do?
Settling in.
In my head, I said, oh man,
Oh man.
we're obviously not going to be going to sleep anytime soon. And I walked over and he was trying to get himself flat, so I couldn't tell that he was in there. And then
So let me
What?
stop you there.
Liar. You just said he was settling the suitcase, and now you're saying he was flat, so I couldn't tell he was in there. Which one is it, Sarah? Lip, and then the lips compression, right? Something's wrong is the lip compression. Your body's saying, hey, this is a big ass lie, and we're gonna compress our lips because we don't want to say anything else. Our brains are like hurting. Please, Sarah. Either you saw him there or you didn't see him in there. You don't use both facts or both things in one phrase. Michelle is saying, I have a crush on the prosecutor, William J. William J. He snuck so many zingers in there. Which one is this, Michelle? I hope it's not the one with the tie. I hope it's the other one that actually reminds me of Frankenstein. So is it this one? Hold on. Is it the one here with the bottle, the mega pint, or is it this one that you have a crush on? I mean, I can see this one maybe, but not. I mean, come on, Michelle, tell me which one you have a crush on because I'm nervous. I'm nervous. Okay, let me go back to this. Share this one instead. Uh, Helen says he wanted to leave. Sarah, he just wanted his suitcase so he could get the F out of your house, you crazy lady, psycho. That's all he wanted. Zach, if he were here in Canada, she'd get 10, 15, but since it's Florida, I'm thinking 30. Yeah, the minimum she's going to get is 22.5, I believe. So, yeah, Zach, she's definitely not going to get 10 to 15. Todd says there's so much evidence against her and her refusal to take the plea, her lack of remorse, empathy, compassion. Sarah Boone only loves Sarah Boone and no other. I bet the women at low and just waiting for you are just waiting for you. Will and Jane is the main prosecutor. Yes, the one with the tie. Jenny Allison. All right. Hey, a powerful man that makes good arguments a lot of times will win our hearts. Absolutely. I was like, I don't know about this tie, but then once he did his closing argument, I was like, all right, you can have the tie. It's fine. Zach I says, hopefully George wasn't claustrophobic. Oh, it's so sad. Black Eagle, the awesome uppity Ale says her blink rate alone reviews that she's lying. Hello, baby. I think she whacked him with a bat and he fell downstairs. And then she thought he was gone and hid the body in the suitcase, but he woke up. One thing I did find weird is that when she woke up, like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon the next day, she calls Brian. She's like, Brian, George is dead. And he's like, did you call the cops? And she's like, well, I was hoping we would hide the body together. Because why else would you not call the cops, right? Michelle, that's a tie you wear when you realize it'll be an easy case to rest. That is a tie you wear when you got some self-confidence, man, and you don't care about what anybody says. But you know what, Michelle? I don't know if you saw his interview afterwards. It was great. And a lot of the attorneys were making fun of it because he was everything that he was there in the interview, and they were like, so can you tell us about what the evidence? And he's like, I'm not discussing the case. Can you tell us what you think she's gonna get? This is for the judge to decide. He was very like serious and not giving us any facts. So I think that Ty was a way for him to express himself, like how he was feeling inside. Um, can't wait till she's sentenced. She's always contradicting herself. When the defense doctor testified, she said that Sarah told her she had 2 Baker holds in the past in Florida. That refers to someone held at a 72-hour psych evaluation. That's correct. Baker Act. Baker Act. Dan Darish always cut her off because she gave the wrong rehearsed answer. Exactly. Let's not go into a whole story here, Sarah. Just tell me this. He also said she played hide and seek on a Sunday like we all do. Right. When she asked for a holding cell that was large because she was claustrophobic, did she? Did she really, Helen? Oh my God. The one with the bottle is William J. Jenny. All right. Sunday Fun Day. Oh gosh. Werner I can't say that. I need to learn. Schacht. Sarah looks like she is on her way to a gothic party with her makeup. Because like it's all like, when you're like out when you're out for hours and your eyeliner starts to like melt in your face, that's how she looks. I crushed on Cacciatore. I like David Cacciatore. He did great during that first close. His muscles were, but who is that? I have to like who is Dave Cacciatore? Cacciatore. I have to Google it. Let's go put the video and I'll Google that right now.
Suitcase, is it the suitcase over here?
Very important stuff.
Yes.
Well, you've seen it, you saw it.
Yes.
It's a pretty big suitcase.
Yes.
How big is George?
George was my height. And
How tall are you?
Oh, okay, the other one.
And how much did George weigh?
I can see that. I
thought
can
it was
see
100
that.
pounds.
Okay, and how much did you weigh?
I was 98 pounds.
All right, you put on some weight.
Since I've been incarcerated, yes.
Everybody's loving on
At the
Dave.
time, though, y'all were pretty skinny.
Yes.
So from the pictures, it looks like y'all were both pretty thin.
Yes.
Dave.
All right, so because of his thinness, is that how? And he's a small man.
Yes.
Okay, so he was able to get in the suitcase on his own.
Yes.
Did he willingly get in the suitcase?
He was already in there.
Okay, when you got to him,
Oh,
did he
lip
see you?
compression. Something's wrong. He was already in there.
All right, tell us what happened.
I mean, I just I zipped him up. We thought it was funny. And we're joking
Who thought it was funny? Bastard.
about how he was, I guess, small enough to fit inside of the
Ah
suitcase.
ha 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 ha.
So what happened then?
From there, it was just, we were laughing about it. And
No, you weren't.
it was just strange that he was small enough to fit in there. And then
You already said
I
that.
moved it around a little bit.
Stop with
with
the
him in the
feelings,
suitcase.
the
No, It
words.
was still funny that he was still in the suitcase. Just I think
Hilarious.
I kind of couldn't believe that he was.
Did you see her face just now? Okay, wait a second. Let me try. 51803. Oh, 518. Let's go back. Like, it's kind of like a
It
joy.
was still funny that he was still in the suitcase. Just I think he and I were just kind of.
Isn't that joy? Isn't that Duper's delight? Isn't that joy? Come on. Look at that on the, I guess, her left side, her smile on this side.
Couldn't believe that he could fit in the suitcase.
Did you eventually?
And she also did a one shoulder shrug, which is a very good sign of deception, because she said, and we couldn't believe that he was in the suitcase. So I saw some joy in Sarah's face just now. Very, very, very scary. Great pleasure in her face. Seeking North Node agrees. Helen says Dupin delight agrees. Luz, ooh, says the arrogance is dripping from her face. Gaslighting 101. She's so sadistic. Absolutely crazy. Can't believe that Owens tried to say it's a pretty big suitcase. Sir, we can all see the size of the suitcase. Absolutely. This is the worst time for her to show this duper's delight. Just absolutely. She sure did. This was a joyous smile. I did too. Great call. Reliving the thought of it. Yes, absolutely. Relishing. Let's keep going. You still look happy, Sarah. This is the worst part of the testimony for you to look happy. You had 4 years to rehearse it.
We close the top.
Yes, in order for, well, the top was already closed. As he was settling himself in there, that's how I knew he was in there, was because the top was kind of flopping a little bit.
So he had gotten in there to hide, and he pulled the top.
Yes.
On top of it, but you could tell he was in there.
Yes.
You saw him right away.
Yes.
All right. So at some point, did you zip him up?
Again, she goes like, yes, the big smile again. Let me see, 5/18/31. Let's go
It
back.
was still funny that he was still in the suitcase. Just,
Haha, so funny.
I were just kind of couldn't believe that he could fit in the suitcase.
Did you eventually close the top?
Yes, in order for, well, the top was already closed. As he was settling himself in there, that's how I knew he was in there, was because the top was kind of flopping a little bit.
So he had gotten in there to hide, and he
So he closed the suitcase himself, and you only saw the top. So he closed the whole side because this is the only way you could tell he was in there, right? Look at the evil face right now. She's back to her evil self. So he's in there flopping around, and the you can see the one portion on the top flopping around. That's the only way you could see that he was in there. Even though earlier you said you could see him settling himself in there, and then he was like lying there, so you couldn't tell he was in there.
pulled the top.
Yes.
On top of it, but you could tell he was in there.
Yes.
You saw him right away.
Yes.
All right. So at some point,
Big smile for us, guys. This is a big smile. I saw him in there. I'm going to clip this and paste it here so I can have this picture for later. This is the big smile when she's talking about George, the love of her life, the one that it was a soulmate, being inside of a suitcase that ultimately led to his death.
did you zip him up?
Yes.
And what was he saying or doing when you were zipping him up?
I just thought it was funny.
Were you both laughing?
Yes.
And so you zipped him up.
You
Were you
both
still laughing
laughed.
once you zipped him up.
Yes.
No, Mr. Owens, we
What
saw the
happened?
video.
From there, I moved the suitcase around a couple of times, just kind of on the wheels
Glen
and
Lake
moved it
is
around.
here.
And at that point, it was funny. We were joking and laughing about it.
It wasn't
And
funny.
eventually, did you go sit down on the couch and get your phone?
She does the big swallow. So her body understands this is not a good story, but she's like ruthless. Look at her eyes. She's like, I'm going to keep going with my story here. I'm doing great.
Yes.
There's something.
Well, the suitcase had, from me moving it around, was flopped over. So while it was like that, I thought at that point I had a moment to, I guess, take the time to talk to him while I guess he was not able to get out for a moment.
So you flipped it.
Oh,
gotta know
lip
what's up.
compression and tongue jut. So she goes like, I guess, a lot of filler words, right? So she's trying to fill the void. I guess I was trying to talk to him for a moment, and then when he couldn't get out, and then she goes, lip compression, something's wrong. Tongue jut, I just got away with something. Sarah, and look at her squinting the eyes to the attorney again. What else are you gonna ask me, bastard? Because I will get away with this. Evil.
Right?
Yeah.
He gets in, but at some point you flip it over, so the zipper is on the bottom.
Well, it was just kind of how I was moving it around, and it ended up kind of flopping. So
It was upside down.
yes,
So after you did that, what did you do?
that's when I went over and decided to videotape to just see the I guess the gist in it for him to understand that right now I feel safe and right now I have the ability to actually.
Okay, that's when you decided to videotape. How do you know if you were in a blackout, if you don't remember the tape? You didn't remember the tape until the cops showed it to you. And you decided that was a good time for you to talk to him?
Actually speak to you in a manner that normally I would not have the ability to do.
Liar, because we saw several videos of you cursing him out, telling him how he was a dumpster diver, how he was no good, and you always talk to him like that. So again, you're lying.
Okay.
Yes.
And you would agree that you said some things you should not,
Yes.
but you
No
realized you could
remorse.
not get out. and get
No,
action. Is
no
that fair?
facial
At that moment, yes.
expression
So
change.
it goes on for about 10 minutes.
Yes.
You heard it here today, did you not?
Yes.
You heard his voice as he was speaking from the
Blinking,
suitcase.
blinking,
Yes.
blinking,
That was his voice on video and
disapproval.
audio.
Yes.
And you heard your voice on the video and audio.
Yes.
That was your voice.
Yes.
All those things said by the man were said by George in that 2-minute video.
Correct.
All the words said by the female were said by you in that 2-minute video.
Correct.
When he said George, she did a little lip pursing of disapproval. Other than that, all she has done so far during this question portion is rapid blinking and just straight up. Yes, yes, yes. But her stress is off the roof. Is that an expression? Her stress is like off the whatever you call it. And then when he said the word George, her lips pursed.
On showing him the video the next day.
Yes.
At the time, or the
You
next
didn't
day,
know about the
I
video.
don't even remember a video thing.
I do not.
So
So how did you decide to
from
make the
what you can
video?
tell from watching it, did that refresh your memory about that event?
I did.
Oh, strong disapproval to the side of the mouth here because, and then you close your eyes, which is a sign of see no evil, right? When we don't want to see what's going on, we close our eyes, we delay opening our eyes because it's just like you don't want to be confronted with this fact in front of you. In her case, is the video. She is extremely disapproving of the video and she see no evil because that's what got you where you are today.
Why did you say all that?
Why did you say all that? Okay, look at her now. Look, who are you smiling at? We're literally talking about him being in the suitcase and you saying F you to him. Why are you smiling, lady? Why are you smiling? Through the roof or off the charts? Okay, I have to remember that. Her blink rate is through the roof or off the charts. What did I say? Through the walls? Juror number 3 was great. I thought he was a gentleman talking about his sobriety. I could be wrong. What do you mean? Did the jurors speak? I have to go check that out. Helen, someone, her girlfriend's in the gallery. Closing the eyes can also mean that she doesn't want to see the expression or reaction of the person. Yes, see no evil. She's talking with, meaning she doesn't want to see anything negative. Her body doesn't want to see anything negative. Like they might not have liked what she said. Exactly. Off the chain. Okay, pursing those lips. I bet if you analyze her a lot, you could tell exactly when she's like, oops, that is 100% of the time. Never mind. Todd, perfect. I love that. Off the chart, through the roof.
Mr. Rollins, you may proceed.
Off the chain.
I'm talking about just the 2-minute video that was recorded.
Zach says, Sarah consulting Satan from her left brain all the time, BSing from her right side. That is so funny. Not just a liar, but a coached liar. He loved her. Oh, let's see what okay. And let me read some of your comments because I don't want to just miss a lot of them. And he would sweetly tell her he loved her even when, while being arrested or berated. Yeah, he would be like, it's okay, Sarah, it's okay. Don't worry, like I'll be okay. Jenny says settling, aghast, rest. No one speaks this way when they're speaking from memory. Sarah wouldn't speak this way. God, I hate her. Catman is she knows the prosecutor has the video of her berating him when she's sleeping in the hall, but still tries to say that she only felt safe to talk to him was when he was in the suitcase. Right. It's the gaslighting. It's like, I will say whatever I want and people will believe me. She's no Erin Brockovich. She's blinking 100 miles per hour, greasy hair. Here comes the part once more, Sarah asks if she's allowed to cuss. She does? I don't remember that. Oh my goodness. Her neck is starting to sag. Sad. Sad. I dated Sarah. They're terrifying. I'm so sorry to hear that, Nicole. They're out there. They're definitely out there. There's definitely Sarah's out there. I would love to see an interview with juror number 3. He spoke out when they were asking each of the jurors if they, his verdict was like, yes, that was my verdict, man. That was my verdict. Hell yeah. He could have said, hell yeah, that was my verdict. Turtleneck. Guys, don't make fun of the neck. The neck is a very difficult thing. I'm having issues with my neck. As you know, as I grow older, it's like, what do you do? The neck is like just very difficult. I want to know how she went into jail looking 41 and went to trial 5 years later looking for 61. Guys, that's mean. That's mean. Let's not. I know she's cruel, but we don't have to be okay with her appearance. We know she ain't getting nearly the bathing facilities that civilians. Oh my gosh, Michelle says, is someone going through menopause? You are in for a surprise. Ay, ay, ay. Something about Sarah. Yes, the neck loses a lot of collagen. People don't judge. I'm very self-conscious about my neck now that I'm getting older. Me too. It happened for me one day. I was at the gym. I was like, oh, my face looks fine. I have some makeup on. And all of a sudden I saw something something on my neck. I was like, what the hell is this? It's changing. It's very, very scary with the neck. Neck it off, everyone. Owens was a mess. There are two sides to every story. Yes, there are. The inside and the outside. The side that we see in the video. I have a box of prison letters from my Sarah. Cosmo Online wrote a multi-page article primarily about him by name. Wow. I'm so sorry to hear that, man. Just I hope your Sarah never comes back into your life. Okay, so let's do a few more minutes here. We're gonna probably wrap it up maybe soon, and then maybe we'll just go all the way to the break here. Few more minutes, and then we'll come back next Sunday to do another live and cover the second part of her testimony. Okay, guys, so let's keep going here.
Could you just tell the jury?
That's Bob. You're suspicious.
And then explain that to the jury.
Thank
You mentioned, you talked about it before.
30
You said he was in that confined space.
something.
It was my chance. But do you want to elaborate on that? Or?
Sure. I want you all to know that the majority of the time, I'm always afraid and always scared.
All right. Well,
Oh, lip compression and look at that. She almost smiles, guys. She's such a freaking idiot. Sorry. Look at that. She's almost smiling. She says, I was always afraid. Lip compression, which is disagreement. And then look at this. Duper's delight. Again, she's smiling. Again. OMG, Sarah. I did not see all this when I first watched you. Look at that. She's looking down, smiling inside. Smiling inside.
But would it be fair to say that you had some anger at that point?
I did.
You were not
You just
scared,
said
lady.
You wanted to tell him off to some degree.
I just wanted, yes, for him to have a better understanding, which was the whole point of the videos and documentation prior.
And you could tell that he was uncomfortable.
I'm guessing.
And
Oh, look at the disdain. Look at the disdain that she just did as well. I'm guessing. I mean, I'm over exaggerating her expressions, but yes, like, and then she's like, she has no regard for his life to this day. That's what we can see here. Okay, let me see here if I can go back, 15 seconds? 5:25. I wish I could just see that answer. Okay, right here.
I just wanted, yes, for him to have a better understanding, which was the whole point of the videos and documentation prior.
And you could tell that he was uncomfortable.
I'm guessing.
I'm guessing.
And did you want him to feel some uncomfort?
I did.
Okay. Now, at some point,
Don't smile at the jury. We see how cruel you
we
are.
turned off the video.
Yes.
And then we saw a second video, which was approximately 11 minutes later. And you've seen that video that was played to the jury. It was 22 seconds long.
Yes.
And
Helen, that is a long,
You did want to say Sarah
complicated
one time.
answer.
Yes.
Is that fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah,
So
Manny,
between
I'm guessing
the
he
2-minute
said he
video
couldn't breathe.
and the 22-second
Constance
video,
Bates
is there a way?
says the algorithm, YouTube algorithm sent it to your channel. We'll see you again. Hey, Constance Bates, that's great news that the YouTube algorithm is doing something. Guys, thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing because see, Constance just found us and you are in for a great chat. Awesome, awesome people here, Constance. You're going to love it because we read your chats here and you participate. Bianca, in the future, are you planning William J's cross of her? Yeah, we're gonna do the whole thing. We're gonna do the whole thing. Absolutely. Behavioral Parents did a video about it. Those guys are good. Todd, they are awesome, and I have not watched it yet because I wanted to start doing these videos first. But I'll definitely watch it because the behavioral panel is how I started getting into learning about Joe from Joe Navarro, who was one that they learned a lot from as well, and I also take their classes. So absolutely great channel. I've been waiting for a video regarding her body language. Thanks for thinking of this angle. Thank you so much, Constance. Owens didn't say there was no deal when asked. He talked about him not trying to sway her opinion. Right. The way she jumped on Chelsea during the interrogation for maybe getting the day wrong. When they, yeah, she was like, really, really, really. When they were talking about informing George's parents, they had past shows how much respect she had for him. The algorithm sent me to you for the first time, Nicole. That's awesome. Welcome. I'm so happy you guys are here. Seriously. Wanting him to feel some discomfort, not self-defense. Exactly. Equals not self-defense. What does extreme blinking mean? It just means stress. It does not mean the person is lying. It does not mean the person is telling the truth. It just means very, very uncomfortable, very, very stressed. All the time, always afraid and always scared, having a great day. We were having a great day. Yes, we had a great day. 259 in here. Yay! It's like a record. I'm so glad everybody's here. This is the first time I've seen your channel too. Candace, welcome. I'm so glad that all you guys are here, the new people. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and hit the bell, especially because then you can see the next live, which should be next Sunday. Thank you for your warm welcome, of course. Jenny says the behavioral panel is amazing. Yes, I wonder if we could watch their video here, like if that's allowed. I don't know. Better understand why you hit his fingers when he was trying to find the zipper with a baseball bat. You turned him over so he couldn't get out. You knew George was never getting out. Oh. Can't wait to see your take on how she reacts when Mr. J confronts her about not knowing how hide and seek works. I know. I can't wait for Cross. I always love Cross. Lana G says, just found you too. This woman treated him like he was beneath her. Yes, as she treats most people in her life. Prosecutor was right when he said she treated him like her pet. Yes, London G, and welcome, welcome. Carolina says, happy Sunday, everybody. Those videos sunk her, not including the main video, which locked her fate for good. Stress can be an indicator of lying, though. True, Perusia, very true. But we can see she's lying, right? All the time because she says something and then she says something else. This is a great time for me, too. All of us new people sent here by the algorithm seem to have some interesting sense of humor. Awesome, guys, because we are not a glum lot here. We have some fun, even though some heavy topics sometimes. Subscribe. Can't wait to see the next video. Awesome, Todd. Jenny says, yes, that would be amazing to watch their recent video analysis of her trial here together. Okay, well, I'll see if their channel is Commons Creative channel, which means that we can watch it without being penalized, or if it has some type of restriction there. I love when you say bastard. Bastard. She thinks she's smart. I know the jail she's housed. Can't wait for her to go to prison. I love Mr. J's little digs. Oh, I can't wait for Cross, guys. Thank you for your play behavioral panel video and give commentary. It's allowed. Okay, awesome. Perfect time for next Sunday live. Okay, so we'll do next Sunday live a little later. We started this at 3 p.m. So we'll do like 4 p.m. maybe if that works for everybody. And we can do, but let's try to finish at least until the break here so we can have a cohesive video next time. Let's get out of this grin, this little smile of joy from Sarah Boone, and see what else she has to lie to us about.
For that period. Would you tell the jury what happened?
We continue to, I guess, speak to one another, and
I guess.
his
I guess
tone
speak to one another, or he continued to plead for his life and you say F you.
changed, and I knew the tone, and we ended up, I guess, arguing back and forth with one another, and it was the things that he was saying very much frightened me, and cursing at me and threatening me, and
Did he want you to let him out of the suitcase?
Yes.
I'm sure so.
Who wouldn't?
And it got very heated very quickly, and he continued to push on the suitcase. And my fear was that he was going to break out of the suitcase, knowing that it was a broken suitcase. And his hand started to come through. His hand started to come through this way. And so I shook the suitcase. Trying to get his hand to go back in, shaking
What
it.
the hell?
And telling him that, please stop doing this. Please stop doing this to me. Please stop doing this
To
to me.
you?
So his hand,
What do you mean to you? I don't understand this part at all. Like, even though I'm trying to understand what they're trying to look at her evil eye, he has his hands out. I'm sure he wants to get out of the suitcase. Please stop doing this to me. What the hell is he doing to you? Farouja says, I wasn't crazy about some criticisms of the detectives. Maybe they were right technically, but I was glad they let Sarah know what they thought. Not enough people have done, in my opinion. Yeah, Peruzzi, I understand where they're coming from, because I have seen them do the interrogation video. I've seen them cover that. And I understand what they're talking about. And I kind of agree. I didn't see this latest video, but the first video that I watched them do about the interrogation, it's kind of like, as a detective, somebody questioning, it's good for you to build rapport with the person, because you want to get information from them. You want them to feel comfortable and tell you all the things you want. And they didn't do that. Like, they were very aggressive with her. So I get what they were saying there. Cat Mandy says, please stop doing this to me. Stop trying to survive. Yeah, stop trying to breathe. I don't think I'd be bothered by someone cursing at me while locked in a suitcase. Right. Please stop doing this to me. When she said that, I was fuming. So horrible. And then I decided to shake the suitcase. So wait, where did it go? As she pokes the suitcase with a bat. Right. I was horrified here. How is it that Jen, I'm horrified. It was horrifying. Jennifer McCabe. It was horrifying. Horror. We were there all in shock and horror. Dog mom. I'm a dog mom too. I'm new here and I love it here. Stay here, dog mom. We have a lot of fun here. We're going to be here next Sunday. Welcome to the channel. Don't forget to subscribe. Lucy Huerta, I'd pay money to watch an interview of all 6 jurors. I think the money should go to George's family. Oh man, it was a good day. Please stop doing what to you? Bastard. Psycho. I'm not supposed to be calling her names, but I can't help it. Ned Shack says, I'm glad they only had 6 jurors instead of 12. I think everybody would have voted guilty. I wonder. Very much as an adjective phrase seems like a tell when Sarah is trying to reinforce a lie. I was very much afraid. Were you scared? Very much so. That's a great point, Dan. I agree with you 100%. Seeking North Node, I wonder if that was really George saying that to her. Please stop doing this to me, London G. What? That's what did her in. This made the jury know it was a lie. Horrific. Shock and horror. It was horrifying. Everything's about her and how it affects her. Nobody else counts. Yeah, even after he died the next day in the interrogation, it was like, guys, I can't sleep. Like, I couldn't sleep. Let's see. Evil.
Actually got out of the suitcase.
Yes.
And you went to the suitcase.
Yes.
And shook it.
Yes.
Did that?
Why? Yes. Don't you see how ridiculous this is?
Force his hand to go back in?
No.
So
Are you trying to? Oh, she's like, no. Oh, you're doing the child. You're doing the child. Okay, gotcha.
Shaking it. Were you shaking it to try to get the suitcase?
And she's biting and lip compressing because now this is a crucial part of her testimony. They have definitely gone over this. And she's like, she wants to put out her side of it or whatever, her performance, but she's trying to take cues from her attorney, like, okay, let him ask.
His hand back in?
Yes.
Yes. I'm an innocent child. Yes.
Shake it.
I don't know.
But his hand was still out.
Yes.
Was he trying to get out?
Forcefully, yes.
Was he angry?
Yes, because he couldn't breathe.
Yes.
Yes.
Were you in fear?
Always.
If he would have gotten out of the suitcase, what would he have done to you?
Speculation. Objection.
Like he used to tell me, he probably would have made me unrecognizable, or I would have lost my life.
And
Did you lose the
disagreement.
suitcase?
Yes.
Where was the bat in relation to the suitcase?
It was leaning against the dining room table, right there.
How far was the bat from the suitcase?
3 feet, 2 feet.
Was his hand still out of the suitcase?
Yes.
And was he getting out of the suitcase?
He very much was trying, yes.
And so what did you do?
Very
For the
much
split-second
trying.
reaction that I had, I happened to see that, and I grabbed the baseball bat and was trying to poke his hand to go back in, to please don't break through, please. So I hit his hand.
What did you hit?
Please don't break through. Look at her. It's just.
The outside part of his hand.
Yes.
We've seen the photographs of his left hand. Did you cause the bruising there?
I'm guessing yes.
Now, you've seen the bat.
So confused.
It's a huge bat.
Yes, I bought it for my son.
Is this the bat you used?
Yes.
And you said you poked him with it?
Yes, I kind of pushed, like I held it with the skinny part here and then
So grip here.
prodded at it. Yes.
You grabbed it with both hands here.
Yes.
And then the barrel of the bat, the big part of the bat is here.
Correct.
And you thrusted it into the different areas of the suitcase?
I started with his hand, and his hand, he was still trying to get out. He was still trying to do that. So I
Because he
started to
couldn't
push on
breathe.
the suitcase around it, hoping to have his hand retract and go back inside.
You made those injuries.
I did.
We've seen the photographs.
Yes.
We see the bruising. Is that from that bat?
Yes.
Eventually, did his hand go back inside from you doing?
Yes. Finally, he had subsided and retracted his hand.
So in your mind, did you prevent him from attacking you?
Absolutely. Split-second decision.
Now, once he retracted his hand, do you remember zipping it up some? Or what did you do in relation? Because he was upside down, was he not, at that point?
Yes,
At some point, you flipped him back up.
I did.
Tell how that happened.
He wasn't cursing. He wasn't threatening. His hand was inside foremost. There was no more of him trying to break through the suitcase. So I felt safe enough to turn it back over. It wasn't happening anymore.
You went back to the video and the couch,
I did, yes.
and we saw the second video,
Yes,
the 22-second, and he's right side up again,
yes,
and you hear him say, Sarah,
yes,
have you left enough room for him to get out? Zipper to zipper.
yes. That's how his hand was trying.
That suitcase has two zippers, doesn't it? And they meet at various places along the line.
Correct.
How much room, when you flipped it over, how much room was between zipper to zipper?
I don't know specifically. I mean, it was enough to where his hand was coming out.
After you had hit him with the bat, was he not trying to get out anymore?
No.
Yeah, because he was afraid that you're gonna hit him with the bat again. You psychopath. Oh man, this is hard for me because I'm stunned. I mean, I did watch this before, but I'm stunned at her callousness and just the cold manner and just. Let me go to your comments because you guys probably have better things to say than me right now. Queen Olive says, I'm sure the jury felt exactly the same as us. Catherine Bangle, what was the bat doing downstairs leaning on the dining table? I thought they cleaned for 3 hours. Interesting. Michelle is saying, I work in psychiatry and that is a part of why I found this so fascinating and frustrating. Sarah has something called cluster B personality disorder traits. Yes, Michelle, you should go check out our video from last Sunday. We went through borderline and narcissistic personality traits, and just like how some of the things that she does are just are traits. I'm not diagnosing anybody. I'm not allowed to, but it's very interesting that she definitely showed cluster B. Somebody said in the last Sunday, the whole cluster B section of the DSM just says Sarah Boone. Perugia says, it's clear to me that George was the one suffering from battered spouse, not Sarah. Dog mom, in the 4.5 years that I kept with her, she was never once showing any grief or remorse. She feels as though she did this to everybody's making such a big deal out of it. Sadistic Sarah. Absolutely. Uh, Nicole, do you think Sarah's on or near the dark triad? Somebody mentioned that last Sunday. I was not comfortable saying that because I don't have enough information on the dark triad. I would have to study more about that. I have studied a lot about NPD and borderline. So those are the ones that I can see the most, but I have to study more to be able to give an opinion on that. Zach E. Sarah Deep Space Level Code. Perugia, in her one letter to the family court judge, referred to George's death as an obscure incident. Amazing. Jenny Allison, her speech is also very disconnected. When she's speaking, telling this story, it's static and not fluid, like it was earlier when she was talking about her earlier life. She pauses a lot, liar, and also she uses a lot of filler words and things like that. um, Straight out of the book of battered spouse syndrome. I don't believe Judge Case was taken in by her self-defense claim at all, thankfully. Oh, poor George wanted to breathe. Shh. What's with all the please don't do this, but simultaneously torturing him? The only reason she'd poke him was to check if he was alive, just my opinion. Are you still alive? Damn it. Oh, Jenny, you would not get those bruises from being poked with a bat. Some were deep, very deep bruises that bled into the tissue. Oh, man. Always minimizing baseball bat swings here. Absolutely evil, guys. Absolutely evil. Karina says over 200 in the chat, but only 90 likes. Don't forget to click the like, people. It helps the algorithm, and subscribe so you can see what time we're gonna do the next live. Zach says, I figure if George was getting beat, he'd fight back. No, I don't know. George was drunk a lot. So, and when he got drunk, he was very like mellow. From the videos that we've seen, he was always trying to lay down, sleeping, kind of like, I don't know if he had that much energy to realize what was going on with him. Because a lot of times he didn't understand what was going on. Like, why are you waking me up, like screaming at me, lady? Dog mom, she truly thought that nobody would ever convict her. That's why she went all the way to trial with all the damning evidence that she had. That is how she thinks she's the smartest one. Yeah, is the grandiosity, the lack of self-awareness. Being a survivor of abuse is very complicated. There's a lot of brainwashing, for lack of a better term. Yeah, there's cognitive dissonance. It's a good term for it. That goes into it, makes the survivor not fight back. Absolutely. I'm so sorry to hear that. Not that you are, but overall. Anthony, I don't know. He did destroy that TV. Yes, but it wasn't like a threatening manner. It was like, it was kind of like a drunk guy destroying an old TV. But I don't know. She controlled his finances, legal documentations. I think we owe Owens a thank you for taking this case. She would have annihilated his reputation for further if she ran on the show. I think that we do owe Owens a big thank you because she would have had a lot better perspective at a appeal if she didn't have representation. And the fact that she did have representation, he did a good job for her. I think it was good for justice overall. So let's finish this.
Did you believe that he could breathe in there?
Yes.
Did you ever believe he could die in there?
No. At all.
Were you trying to kill him?
Never.
Did you want to kill him?
I did not.
Puppy dog eyes. Puppy dog eyes.
Did you walk upstairs?
I did, yes.
Why didn't you let him out before you walked upstairs? Were you afraid?
Wait.
Terrified is more of the word.
Objection leading.
As long as he was in the suitcase, he couldn't harm you.
Correct.
When he's... Did you want him to calm down?
Yes, I wanted him to stop being angry because I know what it is for him to be angry.
You went upstairs. Where were the dogs?
The dogs ran upstairs with me.
And where did they go?
On the bed.
Right, Chloe. I
Did
agree
you have
with
a
you.
phone with you?
Yes,
I know at some point you called your husband Brian, did you not?
I did.
Do you recall how long that conversation was?
Not very long.
Can you recall what was it?
I don't remember exactly. No, I don't.
Hold on. This time?
Yes,
So,
Queen
you said that,
Olive.
When he was in the suitcase, he was
Let
threatening
her hang
threatening you.
herself,
Can you
right?
tell the jury what he was saying?
I don't know. Am I allowed to curse?
Oh,
Yes.
no.
Um,
Are you allowed to put somebody in a suitcase and kill them? No. Are you,
he
please.
was going to fucking end me, and that's what made me ask him please to stop doing what he's doing to me. That he was going to, I'm guessing, try his best that night to probably take my life.
But what
I guess.
the threat you heard was he's
He's going to
say the
fucking
word.
end me.
Excuse me?
Fucking end me.
Okay, wait. What is it? What did we rehearse? Can you say that again? Say it louder. Say it louder, Sarah. Effing at me.
And
And Duper's Delight. Little smile right after.
you?
Yes.
And pursed lips.
Yes.
What is that? Like, ooh, did I do it right? Did I say it right?
Just wait for a minute.
Yes.
Let's see her faces when he's away. This was the crux of her testimony, was the most important part. Were you afraid? What was he going to do to you? He was going to effing end me. Don't believe that for 1 second. And now she goes with this smile again. Just make your face stop. Shaking her head. She's going yes and no. Kind of going over what she just said, right? Like, oh, maybe I didn't do that right. Maybe I didn't say that right. She's not showing any remorse, any sadness. It seems to be a very calculating
All right, members of the jury, it is
moment
2:14.
of thinking
I have a matter
here.
that I have to discuss with counsel at this point in time outside of your presence. So I'm going to ask you to retire to the deliberation room. We'll bring you back in as promptly as possible. Again, similar instruction that I've given you. Please do not conduct any independent investigation.
All right, we're going to stop here. Let me just read some of your comments today before we pause for the day. We've gone over 2 hours, which is fantastic. I'm happy. Let's see here, guys. Chloe Jade. Hi, welcome, Chloe. She says, this is my first time here. We subscribes. Thank you for doing this show. Welcome. You're welcome. And I'm glad you're here. There's a lot of stuff that we're covering. We have a lot of Sarah Boone videos if you want to go check them out. And I'll see you next Sunday. Hopefully, we're going to do another live here. She was so horrible. I had to take a day or two to break my heart. It would just break. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes you got to walk away. There are definitely things that I can't handle, like especially when there's dogs involved. I'm like, why do people like this have dogs, honestly? The hearing impaired and vision impaired dogs ran upstairs. How did we practice this? Right? It's like, Remember? And then she was shaking her head like, oh man, I messed up here, messed up there. He never said that. I could see Sarah saying that she threatened him a lot. She did. She did. And she treated him, she was very verbally abusive to him. Catherine Harvey says she weighed 140 pounds and was 1 inch taller than him. That's what the jail says. Marley Mom says Sarah's writing out her speech for sentencing as we speak. Yep, I'm going to do great. I'm going to go over there and they're going to say, you know what, Sarah, we apologize to you. You deserve to be free, and this was all a misunderstanding, Sarah. That's what she thinks. Dog Mom would she keep trying? She keeps trying to hide that smile. She's looking at her girlfriend in the gallery. She had been sitting there for the first couple of days, and then after a while, she stopped showing up. That's crazy, guys. That's crazy. George calmly breaking a busted TV. Sarah, look what he did to me. Exactly. Exactly. Uh, Shout out to dogs. Pegasus, I love you. Absolutely. I think the only time Sarah had injury from him was when he was literally fighting from his life. Absolutely. All right, guys. So this is it for today. I'm so happy that you guys all came and you made this a great show because with your comments, it's just so much more fun. And I'm gonna go out with Whisper. We're gonna go walk on the beach or something. And then next Sunday, I'll see you guys here. I'm going to make the thumbnail and put it on Twitter. Follow me there, Bianca MMM, and have a great week, everybody. Enjoy yourselves, do something good for you, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great, 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 great week. Bye.